Ladies love the skin.
Ow.
Bring it a little bit closer. The good skin, that is. That's why having a proper skincare routine is very important, and you need to feel the Tiege. The process is so easy, just 4 steps. You got your daily face wash. That's going to clean your face up nice and right. You got your exfoliator scrub. That's going to open up your pores. You got your AM moisturizer with the SPM 20, which is going to protect you from the sun. You also got your PM moisturizer, which is going to make sure your skin is protected throughout the night. Tiege has tons of reviews from dedicated customers across the world. I know I said a lot, but it's okay, because guess what? It comes with an instruction card to explain to you in detail what to do morning and night. And because Tiege is a sponsor, they're offering my family 30% off along with a free gift. Just click that link that's in the description and feel the Tiege.
My bad. I was sitting there listening. Doom, 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 doom,
That's how you hit it. That's the shimmy.
doom, doom,
Put the
doom,
shimmy together. Hey. Call that
Happy
the fan shimmy.
Friday.
What up? What
It's
up?
another
Happy
Bougie
Friday.
Black Friday, y'all.
Bougie Black.
Bougie Black.
Hmm, hmm.
Look, you gotta laugh. You know, we're here on a Friday night. At least laugh.
When we hear something funny, I promise you we will laugh.
Shut up. Anyway, who invited Mike?
Oh, okay. All right, bet.
Joe, you know you're always welcome here,
Been
Mike.
there.
Even though you just pop up like every full moon. Like, what we gonna do with
Yeah, where you been at?
Bruh, sleep.
that? No, that's
Sleep. My children, man, with these work weeks, bro. These are these work weeks and these kids' activities. So for the new year, my daughter started a new. For the love of God, why didn't anybody tell me this cheerleader stuff is just
cheer
intense.
is no joke. Y'all
It is no joke, man.
Mhm.
She's 6 years old. How could they have her in this competition squad thing already? But
Yeah.
she got practice. My son got taekwondo and baseball. They're doing best brains too. Like I'm moving all day. I got my computer in the car working sometimes. So like on Friday, literally I crash from the week and just usually be out like early. Because I'll see your messages, you'll be like, who coming on? And I'll be like, I know I'm gonna be half, asleep.
I be
But,
the same way.
What's your hat say?
Huh?
Mike, what's the hat say?
I gotta be in the middle.
fuck off respectfully.
Okay.
Why he not? He was just like, yeah.
Give me a second. Let me introduce the panelists for the night. I'm the only female here, as we can see. We have Marky Mark. We have Trigger Mike. We got the AP and the HD. AP and HD. My name is Shan Monet, and this is a Chic. Karate.
Oh, she's done 8 different
Y'all
beats
can
tonight.
talk again. Look, okay, so something just came past so I have to ask, and I know people have probably already had so many shows about this, but because I'm kind of away from the internet a little bit until the day of, I don't know. But my question is, so do you think $35,000 a month is too much child support for somebody who makes $475,000 a month?
Yes.
Why is that?
You don't need, you didn't spend, this is the good argument I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't spend that on the child while y'all were together.
Okay.
That's, I'm just leaving it at one word.
Okay. Anybody else wanted to, and I'm going to give my,
I mean, it just don't make no sense. You can't buy $35,000. You can't buy $35,000 worth of reasonable stuff for children. They just don't exist.
Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't.
So let me ask you a question. So I always thought of this so I've always had in my mind, and this is just the way I think, and I'm not trying to put it on anybody else. If I ever won the lottery, I want to make sure that when my kids leave here, they're living the same life they're living here over there. We are on the same page because it's not about me, it's not about him, it's about our children, right? And my kid is a reflection of me. So I would want what I want for myself, I want for my kid. I would never buy a car and spend more on a car than I do on my own child. I would never spend any material item more than I do my own child because my child is an investment to me, my biggest investment. So that's just for me. And this can be word as bond. So if Shantae ever won the lottery, please, you can see it. I have no problem with hooking up because that's how I feel with my kid. I want my kid to always be in an environment where they're exposed to different things. They're living a decent life. And unfortunately, you have resources. Those are the things that are open to you. You know, with the more resource you have, you are open to more things, right? So I wouldn't want my kid to come to live in this nice house with me and then go half the time living, and especially if it's vice versa. And most of the time they're living bad and then they come to me and live nice. Like, think about the kid. Like, let's just say I be looking at my dad like dang, Shit, we over here. Can you help us? And daddy's living. I mean, I would think that as a parent, you would want to invest more in your child than anything else. You understand? Make sure, and when I say investment, it's not more about, his snacking. It's how he's living. It doesn't have to be spoiled. It can be just coming home to, it's just a environment of no stress. If you can provide that for your child. And that's just me. I know some men don't care about their kids. So I get that. Some people don't care to that extent, but they like, they think of it more of, I'm doing that for her or him. I don't think about the other person when it comes to my kid. I think about my kid.
I think you conflated that to rationalize robbery.
What's robbery? So you're saying, let me ask you a question. You're making $475,000 a month. 30,000 is killing you, and that didn't even take you past 400,000. You don't think your kid is worth you making 475,000?
Are you ready for this, Shan? Are you ready? No,
I'll never be ready.
My kid is not worth $35,000 a month. No kid is.
But what's worth for $35,000 a month then?
Nothing. No, I can't spend that in a month. It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible to spend that. For 35, if you said I'm making 475K. So even the rich are now realizing that they had a responsibility not to provide those type of lives for their children.
Well,
that affluenza shit is real.
So let me ask you a question. What about just putting the money to the side for you? So if you made it to where you put it in an investment. So when I say give it to the kid, it doesn't necessarily have to be. It can be an investment to the kid. It can be like I'm setting something aside for the kid. This money is going in this pot for college or whatever it is for your kid, right?
Now, what you said, that I agree, but you're gonna start seeing. I've gotten a look at some of the conservative legislation that's gonna be coming out in the next 5 years. They walking all this shit back, y'all. They walking all of it back. And it's going to happen in states like Texas, Florida first. Y'all going to see them going ham first. All right. But what they're doing is so you made a statement that I kind of disagree with. Men do think about all of this stuff for our children. They are our legacy. We are just as invested as the mothers. We just don't want the mom to have control. Because here's the funny thing, Shan, you talked about investments. How many mothers invest child support money, any portion of child support money, into their children's 529?
They don't.
So what you can do though is when you're sitting there, I think this particular person did not have a problem with it. I think that we made it a problem. I think this person negotiated that, and we think it's unreal that this person fought that much of their kids to negotiate that. This wasn't an argument. This was a person sitting down. They didn't go to court. They mutually agreed on this. Okay, With that being said, that can be something a part of the agreement. Hey, this $35,000, I would like it if majority of that goes to this. I don't see any mom, at least me, saying that's an issue because the whole point is for the kid, right?
Oh, you know what I'm saying? $8.4 million going to a child over the lifetime.
We can't.
That's $420,000 a year.
Huh?
There's like you said, 425. It's $8.4 million going to that child until the age of 18 to 20. That's just no. If you put it in a fund for him, I don't have to give it to her. What we normally see is people buying BBLs and Rolls Royces, and then when somebody pay off their child support early, a month later they be getting evicted, talking about they need more money from the father.
And when they finance their life out, then they need more money.
So question. So again, it sounds like we are having a problem with the woman having money. That's what it sounds like. So with that being said, because to me, I guess I'm more of a giver than I am and that's just who I am. But in that case, again, make it so you make an account this so you can see that these are where the funds. Nobody can touch it. The kid can't even touch it, like a trust or something.
Yeah.
And make it that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, the way you laid out the scenario, that could be done. But in most cases, a man is ordered to pay child support. And if this man is ordered to pay $35,000 a month, he doesn't get to dictate any part of those terms. that money goes straight to mom, and mom can pretty much, or let me rephrase,
it goes. I think they did a mediation.
Mediation, yeah, it was like mediators.
But see, that's what I'm saying. The way the scenario that was suggested, yeah, something like that could, right? It could be accomplished, but that's not how it happens most of the time. Most of the time,
yeah.
The non-custodial parent is ordered to pay X amount of dollars. That X amount of dollars goes to the custodial parent, and the non-custodial parent doesn't have any say in how that money is spent. So, I mean,
I don't understand why, child, because I would hand him, he gonna get this kid half that time. He ain't gotta pay the money. Because to me, I value the time.
I mean, to be honest, if he makes that much money, the kid should be living with him.
Mike, you keep talking because I don't know what they do over in Africa, but it be men over here do not be wanting them kids like that.
But Shan, we've been through this already. I don't care what the man wants. I don't care what he wants.
You make them get it.
Yeah, like I don't care what a man wants, what a woman wants. If the person is that well, has the money and ability to take care of the child, that's where the child should go.
But no, the child should go where the child is going to be nurtured the most. Meaning, not nurtured like in a feminine way.
You don't want to have that conversation this evening.
No, not nurtured in a feminine way, but pay attention to. Like if the books, the education, parent tutoring, the person's going to be able to give enough energy into molding the child. That's what the child needs to do.
Shan,
that's from an educator standpoint.
You are a teacher, and you on this very podcast have complained about mothers' involvement in their children's academic activities. So I don't know.
Listen, I have complained about there being an imbalance. I didn't say, so I'm not telling you to get rid of the man. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying for the most part, for the custodial parent, whoever, and when I say the custodial parent, I'm not always saying the woman, because sometimes men are better parents than a woman. I'm saying whoever, when you got two individuals there, whoever is the person who has the energy and the time, who wants to put that time into, that's where the kid should go. It should not be forced. So whether that's the husband, the man, or the woman, because I've seen men who are better parents than I've seen women, and I've seen women who are parents. So it should be on an individual basis. You should be able to look at both, and it shouldn't be going in like automatically the woman. No. It should go in. Let me look at what you guys have got going on. Who is the person who's more responsible as it relates to the child, and moving forward from that point?
You know what? So I think in a perfect world, you'd be 100% correct. But we don't live in that world. And when we do that,
perfect, honey.
I told you, when we do that, we will start to create a world where people can tell lies on each other in order to get custody. I think it should be blanketed. I think a child should live with both of their parents mandated for separate parts of their lives. Infancy to 9 years old, preferably we want a 2-parent house. So let me make that clear.
Very clear.
Infancy to 9 years old, and then the dad gets them from 9 to 18.
I don't think that's fair. I think that they both should have joint custody.
No, they have joint custody and visitation and all of that. I'm talking about physical cut. Like
that's what I'm talking about. 1 week on, 1 week off. Now, if the baby's breastfeeding, that's totally different. Okay. But out of that stage, I think that the parents should have, they should be, so the kid can be comfortable with both parents.
No. I mean, that's still going on. But remember, the kid has a physical address. So 9 years at one physical address and 9 years at another. The reason why I think that's important is because I think I was on Hamp's show and people were saying, shouldn't we give some accountability to the fathers if they're in the children's lives, but the children still turned out messed up? And I said, proximity plays a big role in a father's ability to influence his children. I feel like I'm an excellent father, but there's no way I could live across town and be home to make it to take my kids to all these activities and do all this stuff that I'm doing. The reason I'm able to influence them this way is because I'm here. Every behavior that they have that's bad, I correct it with immediate effect because I'm here to hear it. right? So if we split, there's no way we can be that efficient. So there's no way I can teach them discipline while I'm at my house and they live with their mom. So yeah, 9 years in one, 9 years in the other. But we still do that stuff you were talking about.
I guess I just see. I don't know. First, you're right. If you're in a different state, obviously that's not something that you can do. But if you're in the same city, try your best to live as close as possible. Most of these cities are not even as big. Y'all think about these major cities. Most cities in the United States are not big like major cities. So they live in this proximity of each other. It's one big neighborhood. Shit.
That's true.
So with that being said, go get your kid. Be at them. And listen, go to the basketball game, go to those practices, go, both of y'all, women and men, parent-teacher conference. There's no reason why you shouldn't know when your child has a doctor's appointment. There's no reason why you should know when you have a parent-teacher conference. All of those things, you need to be involved in all those things at all times. Pinpoint blank.
Ooh, you know what? When we say it, it's not that you're wrong. I agree with you. But what I've come to notice from watching so many people that are divorced and in co-parenting situations is that we can never make one-off absolute statements for their situations. Mm-hmm. Those situations usually have bitterness, resentment, a lot of back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really noticed, and it's not supposed to be that way.
They become enemies.
And what I really notice is that when a man tries to, you cannot influence your children's lives without trying to implement some rules and control in their lives. So that can immediately cause a power struggle with the mom. Immediately. Because if you're going to put your foot down, and you sometimes as a dad, I'm telling you, there's no way you can have a disagreement, like a wholehearted disagreement with your baby mom where you do not have to put your foot down. Something is going to hurt those kids. You cannot be casual about it. You can't really be caught. You have to be blunt. And when you have those blunt discussions with somebody you're not in a relationship with, we know that has a high likelihood of going south real quick. So that's why I'm like, damn, we can't just be like, be there for your kid. We hear all type of stories. You told me the practice was yesterday. What the hell? I showed up, and
that's the thing. That's what I'm saying, Mike. She shouldn't have to tell you to practice, period, because you're going to be at the meetings when everything that the kid is at, you're going to be there. Because as a T, listen to this. When you come set up your information because information like parent stuff is online, it's readily available to you. You're able to see orientation, show up at the orientation, make sure your name is on the information. You can do that. She doesn't have to do that. The problem is they use the woman as the secretary, and that's optional. Maybe you listen, especially if you don't have a baby mama who is like that. If you know what you're dealing with, you got to know you have to be more proactive. Unfortunately, you got that.
Agreed.
So unfortunately, you got that in the deal. So with that being said, you're going to have to talk to the coach yourself. Hey, can I get a schedule? You're going to have to talk to the teacher. Hey, can you call me, include me on the email list? If there's anything that goes on with this kid, to contact them out, and you contact me as well.
So
those are things of conversations.
Let me say something about that. So even that part is not that easy. So obviously, I'm married. My children live with me, and I'm the one who works from home. My daughter was sick a couple of weeks ago, caught a little flu bug that was going around. They keep calling my wife. Then I show up at the school and I'm looking at the lady like, hey, anytime I'm the one that works from home. My wife works in the middle of Houston. She's never coming to pick them up. I said, please put a note in the system. And she kind of gave me this look like, is this one of those situations? And then she got sick again 2 days later and they did the same thing. And then when I confronted the lady, when I got there, she said, well, we are very sensitive about these systems. Mom usually gets called for. I'm like, yo, do you think I'm lying to you?
No, you can put in the system. You can set, so when you make that statement, you can put in the system for it goes in order, but you place the order, right? It'll say, okay, contact bump, and they'll put your name first. I've had dads that come up first. I love talking to dads. Matter of fact, sometimes I look for daddies.
Yeah, I'm like, call me first, but she thinks it's some, sometimes they default to calling mom first just to be safe, or maybe I don't know what they got going on. I was like, lady, call me first.
No, and most of the time it's just being lazy. You call the first number that pops up.
Yeah.
Especially if you have kids like me. I'm calling the first number that pop up, and answer this phone. I got time for this.
It's never as easy on dads as we making it seem. It's not only the mom that can make it hard on the dad, it's the community not knowing what state that y'all are in. Like, I don't want to be involved in that. Y'all be like that type of shit going on. So
let me say this: it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be things it's not gonna be easy for you, and it's gonna be things that are not gonna be easy for her. They just have two different things that are not easy for them. So it's not gonna, when you're not together and you're not married, it's not gonna be easy for none of y'all. It's gonna be an uncomfortable ride. So it's either you can get married or be uncomfortable. Pinpoint blank. It ain't about easy at this point. It's about making it happen. A lot of shit in the world ain't easy. It ain't easy to get that vagina, but you be still trying. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, I mean, sometimes it ain't easy. But Negroes go keep on trying, keep on keeping on.
It's biological.
You can't tell a man no on that. He ain't gonna give up, baby. Put some coochie at the end of that stick. Dang it.
What are you drinking?
Put the coochie down 2024.
Listen, it is a Friday night.
Okay.
Okay, so since we're talking about, we're gonna go a little back. Oh, well, we're not. We'll come back to this. Okay. So, another question was BBLs. I'm gonna show you this video. Okay. I guess I should look and see, make sure JR uploaded it first.
You think men prefer a natural body or a BBL? BBL. 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 Do you prefer natural bodies or BBL bodies?
Natural. 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 Natural.
They don't listen to shit.
I had to run somewhere.
Why did I just feel like you was about to come back on screen with the BBL? Like,
okay, listen.
Got up twerking like, look, y'all, I got my BBL.
Look. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all a link, right? I'm gonna give y'all some homework to do. Dear class, I need you to open your phones and go to your Instagram page. And I'm about to send you a link right now, okay? And I want you to go to this person because we can't put it on the show because it's a little risque. But for a brief second, I want you to look up this person, okay? Because I think the problem is a lot of people think that they can spot a BBL, but they cannot. They can spot a botched BBL. But I don't necessarily know that they can spot a decent or well done BBL. So I want you to go to this link. I'm going to put it in for all people first, and I'm putting the back chat for y'all. Okay. And his account is open, and I just want you to look at his befores and afters. I just put it under J. It comes up as JR's name. So yep. Let's go to this link.
That's not the back chat.
Dear students. Please open your phones and go to the following link. Let's go together.
Did you mean to put that on the goddamn?
I didn't do that. Oh. I put it in the chat. Somebody else is doing it. See, my hands are right here. Oh, yeah, you can put it up there, though. You put it up there.
Okay.
I'm okay with that because sometimes they don't show the chat when you do the like if you do a playback.
Yep.
So are you guys there?
Wait, you kept saying he. This ain't a man we looking at, is it?
No, it's the man is the doctor. The results are the
Oh, okay. I'm like, she trying to turn us out in this month.
Nobody trying to turn your butt out.
Nah, ain't not a chance. Not a chance.
I don't think these are the same people in these pictures.
Listen, this man has a 3-year waiting list. Okay.
Oh well, I mean, think this is so he's doing BBLs the way that it's supposed to be done. He's not doing exaggerated.
Okay, go to look. Okay, so this is what I want you to do. Okay, so this is a row, up and down is column. That's for the people who don't know. Go to the first column. 1, 2. Let's see with the row. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9th row with the fishnets on.
3, 4, 5, 7, 8.
You got the fishnets on.
That's the 8th row, I think.
It's 8 with the fishnets.
Yeah, first column. 8th
Listen,
row.
they click on it. That look natural. This man, I don't know what kind of Asian persuasion he has.
No, so for surgeons especially and those type of people, they say beauty is symmetry, and he stays true to making sure he gives them
He does.
true symmetry.
It's like art. It's like an artwork.
That exaggerated symmetry is where we like, oh, this is too much. And here's actually the new way to spot that if the ass don't match the arms, like fat is distributed on the body pretty evenly. Like, if you are certain type of big, you got big arms, you got a little under neck fat and all that type of stuff. So if a chick got skinny neck, short arms, and this fat old, I'd be like, that's one of the ways you can be like, nah, that shit ain't real. But no,
this man doing the Lord's work.
Okay, one more, last one. Go down to 11, row 11, and go over to number 3, and look at her before and after. Girl was
row 11. What, 8?
What she got? What color? Like, what's the identifying
white
mark?
Shirt on and some black pants, some black shorts, little shorts. But she'll show her before, and then she'll do the little thing. And then
yeah. 1, 2, 3.
But he also does tummy. I mean, he does lipo, right?
He does all of these. He's
lipo, body contouring. Okay,
you gonna pay for that new body, baby.
Oh yeah. So is he doing the fat transfer, like taking it from his stomach?
He takes it. He contours the body. So my point is, so the reason why I brought, and there's a reason for me doing this, right? Because I think that what women are trying to say is sometimes men think that they're dating a woman who has a natural body, and that body is not natural. And so when a woman sees you dating her, and even in your head, you may be like, oh, that's natural. She's like, he likes BBLs. He just don't even know that that's a BBL. You know what I'm saying? And so, because these women who have money, they go get those little care credits. You know what I'm saying? These women will go, this man has a 3-year waiting list. 3-year waiting list to turn your body from SpongeBob to Baby Got Back. Okay, the back, the snack in the back. So when you see that, and you, let's just say you yourself are SpongeBob, right? And you see that you're not getting attention, but the day that you turn into Baby Got Back, and you could be classy with Baby Got Back. I know there was one video somebody posted, it was years ago, some months ago, and a girl, she was fully clothed, and he was like, this is the woman of, this woman looks good, she's modest, but she had a nice figure. You know what I'm saying? It had nothing to do with her being overly sexual, but at the end of the day, if it was SpongeBob, y'all wouldn't have the same she wouldn't get that same attention. No matter how modest because you can still be modest with a BBL. Now, what has happened is these people get BBLs, now they want to show it to the world, be like in skimpy outfits and stuff. But just imagine a BBL that's nice like this man has done, in a nice outfit, classy. That'll change the game. You got me a classy. You know what I'm saying? And she ain't even she went to Dr. Jung Money, but you're gonna find out when you got them kids got bad bodies.
Would you get a BBL?
No. I'm scared of surgery. I told y'all that. I ain't never tell y'all that. That shit scared me. That's like one of the most dangerous surgeries of all surgeries. BBL is like you're willing to risk it all to be fine. Child. That's why I understand why people go to these places. And I'm like, you gonna go somewhere, and at least with him, he has a track record, right? He's pretty good at it. He's a reputable doctor. Yet he costs.
This they need $35K a month for.
Well, the person who had the 35K. I don't think she's.
Preach.
I don't think Nia Long has a BBL.
Oh, that's what we talking about, Nia Long.
Yeah. It was Nia Long.
No, she don't. Naturally.
So yeah, she's a naturally beautiful person. But
let me put it to you like this, Shan. It's like that contour of a body is what we love. It was made popular by the corn industry and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And we love super shapely women.
Mm-hmm.
But I think naturally it's going to take time. If people are faking it, because I don't think it's a large amount of people.
It's saturated. It's going to become
it's naturally. So I already see it happening. I'm out the game, so I can just appreciate from afar in the distance. The natural bodies are still going to get the most, like the most natural attention from men, because the exaggerated bodies now are on everybody, and we know that's not true. That type of contour of a body and when we really look at it, they don't just get the body done. They start, like you said, showing it off. They start showing it off, and then we take them out of the wife category mentally, and they don't even know it. Yep. When I've seen a girl that was dressed way too risque but look like that, I'm only enticed one way, to holler at her.
True.
Right? What's that video from last week where the dude was like, I mean, we can go to the crib, because she had her ass out like in the jeans. I saw that. It was, she had her ass out. I'm gonna find the video. But the dude, he was like, where you gonna take me on a date? First, you're gonna go to the crib, because she was damn near naked. I'm not. What you mean a date? I don't even want to be seen out with you like this. What's wrong with you? So yeah,
you might want to be seen with her. Let's give it a bean. You might want to go to and flex on it.
But you know what? And it's each his own, because I know men who I in Atlanta, I've known husbands who pay for their wives to get BBLs. You know what I'm saying? So he probably got tired of not being able to whatever it is they do back there. You know, whatever's going on back there.
Now that people
be a part of the
now that people getting deleted behind BBL, I can't do it.
Oh yeah, it is very dangerous. I saw an episode of, I forgot, I think it was the guy from one of those doctors from Lifetime. I think the TV show Botched, and he did like a little snippet of how dangerous, like even a doctor who's willing to do it, like they're like risking it all, like, you know. This is you have to go to a person who really knows this area of the body, because that something about the fat gets into that bloodstream, and it's just like, boom. So they don't.
I'm not willing to become a single parent home for your ass to be fatter. I'll go to the gym with you. I'll develop a workout plan. I'll support you. I'll train you. We'll figure something out. I'm not trying to have you die behind a fucking BBL. That shit ain't worth it. You too important to me. You too important to these kids, the people that love you. That shit just ain't worth it. It really ain't.
And I think that's how most men feel.
And some people, and the thing about it is, women, that stuff can become an addiction. You get it one time, okay, and they don't stop. Then they want to go get something else done. You know,
ain't that how Kanye lost his mama? Didn't Kanye lose his mama for a BBL or some shit like that?
Kanye and
you see what happened to him? People be fucked up when you lose the look. We don't got that many people you can count on in life, right? Especially somebody that gave birth to you or somebody that's giving birth for you, right? So to lose them behind something that superficial, that'll fuck around. And especially if you encouraged it, that'll fuck around and break your mental.
What's
you know what I'm saying?
The comedian name? He had the wife, you know what I'm talking about, the Wild and Out comedian.
DC Young Fly.
Yes, that was like her third surgery, right? Second or third surgery. That she died from that. Yep. You know, so people be acting like surgery is not invasive. Like, it's not that serious. You know, that gym gonna take some time. However, you will be alive.
And the worst part is that, man, if we really honest, somebody gonna love you the exact way you are.
Yes,
I don't think, like, look at these Mexican dudes' wives with the ass in the front. Like they
love that baby.
Somebody gonna love your ass. When I seen that, I was like, oh yeah, there's somebody for everybody out here. He got a man.
Come on, Trigger Mike. Let them people live, man.
I know. Talk about them being wild.
The whole ass in the front.
And they be in love too.
He be tonguing her down.
Hey, but guess what? That's
There you
something
It's like if
I don't
you
know what you're talking about. Y'all be
if you hit a chick with an ass in the front, is that technically a back shot if you go missionary? And is that a threesome if you hit her from missionary and from the back because you got two asses in one?
I'm not a part of this conversation.
Nah, that's still one.
And do it clap the same way ass cheeks clap in the front?
That's
You know how the ass wave and clap into your thigh like?
Nah,
you
Do it do that in the front?
The vibration is different. You know, cheeks clapping versus your stomach clapping. The vibration is different.
Does she double twerk?
No, she doesn't. Only the back.
Wait,
first.
So you saying she got butt and good?
Interesting. I never seen that like up close and personal, so I'm just curious. I seen a video, right, where this dude, like, it was a trick. He had a girl with a fupa and it looked just like a fat ass, and then you look at it and you're like, God damn, and then you look closer and you're like, wait, that's her stomach. Oh,
you talking about the real when the guy come home and he like pat it and then she get up?
yeah. Just sitting there clapping them abs.
You have a sense of humor. But I bet he loved it.
Yeah, shout out to all the women that bounce right back right after the baby. We love y'all for that one. Y'all the real MVP.
So I'm glad you brought this up. And I'm not gonna put her on the spot because I don't even know her. Is a YouTuber, and I just want this girl. And I hate people be in the comments like, she just had a baby. That child, she had a baby 8 months ago. At this point, it's time to start losing some pounds. We've all been there. We know how it feels to have kids. And sometimes I be feeling like that's where the single woman versus the married woman come into play, right? The single women gonna bounce back fast because they know they singlehood depend on it for the most part.
Number one bullshitter. No. Look,
Yeah,
look, let me give you the breakdown. If you want your man, right, and you like shit, I know if I fall all the way off, this nigga will not be that attracted. You're gonna be doing shit like watching because you're not eating for two. That's a false thing. That's not a real thing. Two, you gonna work. You damn near gonna work out till you can't work out no more. And then you know how long it took my wife to get back into shape after that baby came? Just take a wild guess. Just take a wild guess. Just give me a wild guess. How many months? How many years?
Your wife?
Huh?
Who we talking about?
How long did it take her to get her body back after the baby came? Just take a wild guess. Yeah.
Probably like some weeks. That's how long it took me. Shit.
Yeah, like 2 months. I was amazed. I'm like, what the fuck? How you even do that? That's sorcery.
I'm about to see you this
sorcery.
Right? I'm about to
tell you.
Back chat so y'all can see it once I find it.
Did she breastfeed?
Yeah, she breastfed.
That's the quickest way to lose weight. That's what my wife's doctor said.
It is. Okay, so check this out. But this person breastfeeds too. When I find it, I'm gonna put it in the back chat. I'm not gonna put her on blast because I'm not gonna do that. But I will put her. But anyway, I went to her. She pops up on my screen right with her husband, and her husband is an attractive man. And so I look because I only saw her pregnant, and I noticed that she was huge pregnant. Well, one kid.
Was she huge before pregnancy?
Listen, so I went to the picture, the little profile picture. I zoomed in on it, and it was like a marriage picture. I was like, oh, she was a baddie. And I thought, girl, you better lose that weight because you loving on him right now. And he's comfortable with you right now. But baby, and if you got him in the spotlight with these YouTube things, if you know better, you better get your butt on the treadmill. I'm just saying. I'm going to show you a link. So you can
all I'm saying is, let me suck them titties, baby. That's it.
So what happened?
Hey, I will say that when they full of milk, they be the plumpest, and when they pregnant, it be the wettest. That's some of the best times. Like for all y'all single men who never had a baby coming on the way, let me just tell you something. You could tell when she pregnant if you really in that thing. You will know the difference because oh my God, like, oh shit, you pregnant, ain't you? And then just too much information.
It is.
He's having a moment.
Just a tad. But look, I'm gonna find it and put it in the chat for y'all. But because I can't. Whenever you looking for something, that's when it never pops up. But my whole point in saying this is what I've noticed is a lot of women who have a man who are married. They take their time because they rely on their husband's love, like he's not gonna leave me. And I'm thinking to myself, girl, I hate to be the mean girl in these comments. I want to first of all apologize what's about to come next. I hope I'm not trying to offend anybody, but you need to lose some weight. It's time. It's time.
You know, I damn near can get pregnancy test with a back shot. Like, oh, you're pregnant. I know it. I feel it. It's there. It's a baby coming. I was like, oh shit, you pregnant, ain't you? She's like, no, I'm not pregnant. I'm like, no, you pregnant. I know. I can tell you pregnant.
Marcus, this is like nostalgia.
No, my fault. I'm on a whole tangent. I be knowing though. I be knowing. Like Debo, I be knowing. I be knowing. I be fucking knowing. I can tell you pregnant. I just feel it. I know. I just know.
All right, I'm gonna find it. I promise I'm gonna find it. Even if I have to text y'all during the night on the in our little group thing, I'm gonna find it. Y'all gotta see this. And I'm not like, again, I'm not trying to poke fun at her. I wish her well. I wish her health. But the way her body went from the size that she was to the size she is now, her body cannot support that. If she was this frame and now she's that frame, that's gotta be like a shocker. Your organs gotta be like, what the hell is this? Like it's just too. You feel me? Like your legs gotta be like, I'm like, this is not what I signed up for. Like, this is not what we used to be. So let me shut up. I'm on one tonight. Let me hush.
No, keep talking. Go ahead.
Stop. I'm not trying to poke fun at her. I'm just trying to motivate. Okay. So speaking of motivation, here's another video for you guys. Okay.
Here's the average median income inside of America by ethnic group. Honestly, this was really interesting, so I figured I'd do a video on it. Number 10 in the United States is African Americans, coming in with an average median income of $35,000. Number 9 is Hispanic Americans, coming in with $43,000. And coming in at number 8 are Nepali Americans, coming in with $43,500. For reference, the average single American is making $56,200. And coming in at number 7 are Korean Americans, coming in at $59,200. And number 6 are white Americans that come in at $59,900. And now for the top 5. Number 5 is Pakistani Americans, coming in at $66,200. And at number 4 are Chinese Americans with $69,100. And number 3 are Japanese Americans with an average median income of $72,300. And number 2 is Taiwanese Americans, coming in at $82,500. And leading in the number 1 spot, pretty remarkably in my opinion, are Indian Americans, coming at $100,500 as an average median income. Honestly, pretty interesting to look at these numbers, but if you're looking to break the mold and beat any one of these numbers, follow me to grow your net worth.
How are we always at the bottom?
Define median for me, please.
Started at the bottom, we still here. What the hell?
I mean, why we're at the bottom is very easy to.
Did you know he used the word median? I think it's fair we explain what median is. He didn't say.
Listen. All I know is we're at the bottom. We didn't meet it all racing at the bottom. At the bottom.
All right.
Median at the bottom.
I need to make notes. This is important. I need to make notes.
I don't think Africans were on there. Period.
So, to be honest, these lists become more obscure every time. Indians are always in there. I've never seen anybody differentiate between Nepali Americans. There's another list that says Filipino Americans are in the top 5. He didn't mention them at all. Right? There's one that says Nigerians are number 1. He didn't mention them at all. So I'm just like, I don't know.
But is it a believable list though, Mike? For real?
No. The mix of people he's talking about are usually always in the top 5. So the only one that isn't average. Yeah, the median income I didn't see. The 2 that are usually in other lists are Filipino Americans and Nigerian Americans. So they weren't mentioned at all. So
I don't think somebody said Africans are considered. I don't think that Africans are considered black. I don't think that I think that they would now when they're walking in the street, absolutely.
Let's not even go into this conversation, please.
No, so the only reason
of economics, I don't think that they.
I don't know how. So this is the interesting part, though.
Bring
There
that
is no
bullshit.
differentiator. So I'm a federal firearms licensee, and when people send me their guns to my house and then they got to come pick them up, I got to run a 4473, which is y'all all bought a gun before. That's the paperwork that you fill out. When Asians put that they're Asian, I think they get to fill out. There's a part that says other, and they'll write Nepali,
Asian
Japanese, what type of Asian they are. It just says Black African American. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So there's no differentiation at all there. And I noticed that people that are dark brown, chocolate color don't get to differentiate, but everybody else does. And then the funniest thing ever is that if they put white, not Hispanic, and when I put it in the system, in the FBI background check system, it calls them a true white. That just says true white. So there are some white Hispanics.
I know.
So yeah, if they put, it won't call them a true white. It'll say like something other Hispanic, whatever. But it'll call them a true white if they're white, non-Hispanic. It's hilarious.
That's funny. That is crazy. So let's talk about so what we need to do. Can we come up with a plan, a master plan? Because how we and I don't mean this is not supposed to be a racist state, because people think whenever you put race in something, it's racist. Oh
no, it's a dope conversation to have, because it only centers around one thing. We can come up with a plan. There's one thing that's before everything else in that plan. If we're not going to fix the family, if we're not going to promote marriage and stop promoting individualism, we will always be at the bottom of that list. That is a mathematical and psychological certainty. We'll always be at the bottom as long as we are disjointed.
So Sugar Mike, I can give you a quick way to double those incomes just off the bat. If you got two people making $39,000, what's that? 78,000. If two people get married, now you've just doubled that income. And then if you add another person to that, now you top 1%. Oh, is that polygamy? Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, this thing.
Never mind.
I was with him with the 2, and then he added the 3, but that's not a lie. That's not a lie.
It's just math.
Just take it this, Mark. If I'm coming as your third wheel, your fourth wheel, y'all, I ain't working. I'm number 3.
Hey, so check it out, Shan. You gotta understand this. You have to understand this. Look, when you express love in different metrics based that are the non-traditional ways, it does not mean that somebody is a third or fourth. There's no last. There is only first. Everybody is first. You have to understand how that goes. I despise the way you interpret that, because it diminishes the importance of other people. We got to make sure we add that distinction when we talk about things. You understand me? So there's no third, fourth, fifth. It's just everybody. We are one. You feel me? You gotta understand that, Shan.
Marcus has been going into guru level study. Do you see what he just did?
Yo, my man just got a whole bunch of women pregnant just like that. Crazy.
He got sexy on the mic.
My man has gone into Gandhi level polygamous mode. This shit crazy.
Oh gosh.
Not Gandhi level.
No, listen, we can get our community back together if we just start our own OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
if we all
I wish my kids like Marcus and everybody polygamy. We be on point.
No, look, because check it out, Shan. If you take 3 people who got kids by the same dude, right? You teach them the tools to be able to resolve conflict. You put all 3 of them in the same house. Their income instantly triples. They instantly get a father. Now they have supportive adults surrounding them. How do you lose if we all winning?
You don't lose.
How do you lose if we all winning? And I'm not saying single people should just go out and create polygamy, but if you already have a forced polygamy situation that's contentious, man, make that shit right. You steady trying to date around and do all this other shit. Got to find a babysitter so y'all can go out on a date. And he got to find a babysitter so y'all can go out on a date and create new accessory families that might break up. Man, just stop that.
Basically, Marcus, what you're saying is y'all already sharing a man. Why not do it official? Okay.
And to y'all financial and time benefit. Look, Mike, if it take me 24 hours to clean my house, if me and you clean my house, it's only gonna take me 12 hours and you 12 hours. You got the rest of the 12 hours to yourself. Yep. Now, if HD come over and help us clean, what that transfer down to 9? Now we got extra 3 hours. We essentially be living in retirement. Because you get all your data yourself.
Let me
So,
tell you.
It still translates to 12 because I'm gonna sit on the sidelines and chill.
So let me say this.
You will be excommunicated.
To the other side of what Mark.
Hey, the teamwork make the dream work. You understand me?
Another way to make that work too is that y'all know I went on a cruise for Christmas and my brother and his family flew out and we went out of Galveston, and I don't know, he never said anything to me about this, but me and my wife are looking at buying a new, bigger house this year so my mother-in-law can move in and all of that. And my brother was like, screw that. If y'all trying to get a compound, we'll move to Texas. And I'm like, what? And I was like, damn. And what he really was saying is like, look, man, you the enforcer, meaning me. I'm the eldest brother. And he's like, the way you raise your kids out here saying, yes, so nurse, no, yes, sir, no, sir. He like, I need that in my life. You know, he's like, I'm your little brother. I didn't get that from dad. I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I just started thinking about all the way. Let me tell y'all, I called my mortgage specialist homeboy. I sent him my W-2 from last year. My brother just told me, it's like, ballpark it. How much on the mortgage will we be qualified for? When you team up, oh my God, when he sent back that number, me, him, my wife, his wife, our income, oh my God. When he sent, so he sent back, and then he got excited. He was like, bro, that's dope. He's like, I haven't done one of those before, but I just asked my boss, and he said, listen, if you buy this one, he sent me a piece of land. He said that has an area for cattle. Now, if you get a few, you don't pay tax. I was like, what? Yo, if you really want to do this thing, man, doing it together, that multifamily model is going to skyrocket our net worth. It's going to skyrocket our purchasing power, our ability to buy businesses. And it's the only way. It's the only way to get that number up, Shan. Marriage, polygamy, multifamily model. It's the only way to do it.
Well, I agree. So I think that we are very individualized here. I'm not preaching for polygamy, even though the right guy came, I'm just playing. But so just in case you guys are new here, Marcus always gets a little segment. He always finds a way to talk about polygamy. He's going to throw it in there. It does not fail. So just
that's not what it is. I'm so solutions based. When I hear a solution, or when I hear a problem, I'll be like, what's the solution? That you got 3 baby mamas, you in 2 different states, y'all not getting along. But it's post. We passed that point. Like
okay,
look, we talked
past people.
Yeah, look, we talked about what's the boy name? The comedian dude who put Jesus first and everything. He do a lot of skits. Wayne. He got like 10 kids, 6 baby mamas. It's no reason he should be separating his income and barely participating in his kids' lives. In that specific case, he needs polygamy. He needs it. For people who have already done this, they need it. Like Country Wayne need it, bro. He needs it. His kid gonna get 1/10 of him as a man. His family gonna get 1/10 of his income. So they're gonna be living in a 2-bedroom apartment instead of living in a 10 bedroom mansion with a father. It just don't make sense not to do it that way.
Is that so Nick Cannon is doing it all wrong, right?
Yes, I agree. He is doing it wrong. Very wrong.
He should just buy his neighborhood, put all his baby mamas in the neighborhood. Oh, they neighbors to each other.
You want to say hi? All right, say hi.
He actually should do that though.
Hi.
Say how long do you see Daddy every day?
Say too long.
No, you don't have to say the same thing.
He's like he be sleep. Because every time I call, he be sleep.
Do I sleep a lot? Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here, Wally. Get out of here. So why
love it. So
love you.
So I get what you're saying. But I agree with what you were saying. Okay, I get what you're saying. I want to acknowledge Marcus. I get what you're saying, Marcus. But I want to also acknowledge Trigger Mike. I think that we have become first of all, we have no value in family. It goes back to the family conversation, right? The village. People who have a strong village do well. Yep. They do better than people who don't have a strong village. And that's one of the things. So people all, I had a conversation, I don't know if it was on here or whatever, but it was a conversation on when you become a billionaire or a millionaire, you make it NBA or whatever it is that you do you give back to your family, right? And so the thing about it is people are like, no, your mama, blah, 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 blah. But I would say it's not necessarily your mom, but you give back to your village. The whole point is your village invested in you so that you can give back to your village. Does that make sense? And you keep it going. But what we have done is now we make money. It's all about us. We don't invest back into our village the way we're supposed to. We're not supposed to leave. And that's the thing about being educated, right? You end up leaving. You're like, I'm going to explore the world. I don't want to live here anymore. You're too good. I'm from Alabama. So I'm like, I'm too good for Alabama. I don't really think that, but I'm just saying, I'm giving you hypothetically speaking.
Yeah, you do.
I want to live here. Now, I would love my family to come to, but I get it now. I given my kids the same upbringing I had because I was fortunate to have a village that raised me, right? And that was a good feeling to say that I had all these men who took care of me, all these women. It was a collective that fed into me. So it would only be natural that I feed into them because now they're of age. It's my job to feed into them now. Does that make sense? It's all of we take care of each other. Go ahead. What were you about to say?
I think it's even deeper than that, and I think Trigger Mike touched on it. When we talk about the small hat community, you have 3 generations living in one house and 20 families living in one apartment complex. That's the way we talk about, their stranglehold on certain parts of the economy. That's how they do it. Because everybody inside the house inside the home is working. But it just so happens you got grandma, grandpa, you got mom, dad, and then you have the of age kids. And they continue this cycle that allows them to continue to grow their money, maintain the family unit, and still have a community around them. I think it's all of the above with what all 3 of you guys were talking about just a moment ago. And we have really gotten away from even the village concept, let alone the 4 generations living in one house. You would be uncomfortable. You'd say things like, "Hey, I need my own space. Why is someone always home?" And those are the mindsets that we need to change and I'm going to put quotation marks around it, that we need to change in our community in order for us to change from being at the bottom. And until we do, we will always be at the bottom with this individualistic mindset.
Hey, you know what's even crazier, AP? If you own the land, they can build their own home on the land and be separate, but they are still intergenerational. So when I didn't understand this at first, when they say the nuclear family broke up the Black community, I didn't understand that. What they were saying is we weren't nuclear, as in husband, wife, kid, and dog, and then we're separate in the suburbs somewhere. Because traditionally, like my family is like, my grandfather came from Arkansas. He brought his wife, my grandmother, brothers and sisters to Chicago, plus they cousins. So you had multi-generations and multi-lineage family all under one household, and they thrived. And they were my cousins would be like my brothers. We don't see a distinction between cousin and brother. We all work together. Now, if you look at families now, they might not even have Thanksgiving because they so separated. They might not even get together regularly because they so separated. And when things happen, the thing about proximity and closeness to each other, you can't forever be mad at somebody when you got to see them every day. You're going to have to get over that shit. We're in a position now, you can get mad at somebody in your family and not see them for 10 years. That's not us. That's not who we are. That should not be us.
It should not be. Let me just tell you this. And again, I think that what this is going back to what AP was saying. For me, my great grandmother lived in the house literally behind us. There was a gate. You just open the gate and I go to my great grandmother's house. Mm-hmm. My other grandmother lived down the street, but her husband died. My grandparents, on my dad's side, lived less than a couple of miles down. We were a very close knit. And then my great grandfather, but my great grandmother died, but my great grandfather lived with them. So we were a very close, knit. And check this out. My mom and dad are divorced, but I can call my mom on any given Sunday, and guess where she is? At my daddy's mama's house. It's
I
weird.
thought you were about to say at your daddy's house. I was like, why the fuck they get divorced?
No, no, because my dad's the only child. So when my dad's mom needs something, she calls the like daughter, which is my mom, and my mom goes to since it's crazy out here.
So
how it is.
This is why that multifamily model and it used to, and this is the stories. These are the stories that I've heard of in the Black community prior to like your people your grandmother's age, especially people from the South. They did this in abundance and they did it well. Notice my wife's dad's side, they're from South Carolina. They live on a road. The road is theirs, named after their family. So they're telling me, thank you for all that you do. You will have a house land on Porter Road. I was like, what? Whoa. Because they're waiting to give it to somebody that is married, that has the income to take care of the land, when they pass. And I was like, damn, this is an honor. I get that this is the way you want to pass on your memory and your lineage, so on and so forth. Dedicated. I told them to give it to my children, right? But this is why that multifamily model works so well. And we always skip over this. I need men and women to understand this. It's not really about how much money you make, because all of those people that they named, Indian, Pakistani, Japanese, they're not all engineers and doctors. In fact, most of them aren't. They are blue collar workers. They are cab drivers, Uber drivers, and all that type of stuff. But it's not about the money you make. It's about the money you keep. I tallied up the childcare expenses for my children around since my son was born, $102,000. They kept all of that shit. They kept it all. That's
Trigger Mike.
Yeah.
Could you have built a place addition to your home and housed your mother or her mother in your house for $102,000? And not only would you have gotten better child care for your child, but you would have got somebody you could trust that would be there for your child and provide for our elderly.
To them, read to them, all of that. So that they keep all of the money that we keep shelling out because we want to be individuals. If you want to know why Black moms are so tired all the time, it's because they have to do everything as individuals. This was never supposed to happen. If you're tired and you want to take a nap, take those kids next door or downstairs to your mom and be like, Mama, I just want to take a nap real quick and let me go do that. This is possible for everybody in that multifamily model. It's not possible for most Black people as individuals that want to be. Now, my family a little too much. I want to be away from them, but this is what we get for that, right? So we spend money. Daycare don't even I don't think they exist in like Africa, places like that. They don't exist in other countries, and I don't think they even existed here until like the 70s. It wasn't a thing. We had explored this a little bit. Daycares didn't exist for real. Your family, even people, not even the people in your community will watch your kids for you. There'd be one older lady be like, no, you bring them babies here. Don't be out here taking them any which way, and would keep your kids. Imagine how much money you would save doing that, man. It's crazy.
I got a question. I just want
to clarify though, because I know the video because I had to go back and watch it. It's not household income. It is talking about income. So I just wanted, because you're gonna always have a person like, they didn't say household income, they said income. But
it said median, which actually includes the entire house. In like the way it's, when you use the word median, you're talking about the average of household when it's used in that context. So it's no matter if you have 50 people living in one house, they're only talking about that one house.
Okay, so my point in this is to piggyback on what you were trying to say. I was just putting it out there, but to piggyback on what you were trying to say, Trigger Mike, when it comes to the careers, because even you can look at the fact that Hispanics, well, they say Mexicans specifically, right? They are above us, but what do they have that we don't have? You understand?
They're actually also well, last year they were the poorest. So we've now moved to the poorest. And I remember being on a panel with PhD with that terrorist, right? I remember being on a panel with her. And she said, Black men are in last place. And I had to stop her. I said, ma'am, Black men and Black women are not together. They are not getting married. Black people are going to be in last place until they figure this out. I said, every Mexican group I see, those men love women with ass in the front, as we said before. They don't have a problem marrying those women. Though they still do shotgun style weddings. The men look happy with the women. Like I said, listen, if you have that type of bonding, and when one of them moves into a house, that house is furnished by their relatives. They don't spend a dime to do that type of stuff. When you have that going on, there's no way you will not advance economically as a people. So I said we are always going to be in last place until we figure out how to stay in the same home together, at least.
So I just want to pose a question to you guys, because I see this come across my YouTube quite a bit. These ghost towns that are for sale. Do you think we are capable of purchasing these ghost towns and running them as a collective?
You mean
I think so, but
as a people?
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, what was the conversation that we had right before this show? We're so divided.
oh yeah, that show is crazy. I get what you're saying.
Collectively,
Yeah.
can we all get on the same page?
Margaret said hell no.
It's a no.
But if you look at it, and it's going to go to the entire point. For example, there was a ghost town somewhere in eastern Georgia. I don't remember the name of it. That was for sale for $230,000. It basically everything's already in place. You just need people to come in, renovate the buildings, reset the electricity, get the water plant going. I mean, basically rerun the city. If you got let's call it 20 people to invest $10,000, you can buy a town that is suitable for over 200 and something thousand people. Like, what the hell are we waiting on? Like, why can't we do something like that? Because essentially what happens is I hear a lot of complaining about what's it called when white folks come in and buy houses and
gentrification.
Gentrification. I hear a lot of this about gentrification, but we won't put our money in to go do something that could be very, very lucrative and put money back in our own pockets while making money, while creating an environment that is best for us.
We can't skip steps, though. We can't skip steps.
That's why I posed the question.
Yeah, as individuals, right? There's pretty much every culture has a adage that tells you as individuals we are very weak. We don't have purchasing power. We don't even have the mental capacity to want to fall on the sword and be the sacrificial lamb so somebody else can walk over our back, right? So that is where we're skipping steps. When you fix the family first, so think about it like this. What is it going to take for people to have this type of agreement and bond, but also trust in one another? It's the family model. It always goes back to the family model. People don't actually trust individuals. They trust stronger bonds than that, right? It's fathers trusting fathers, and only because it's like, you know what, my kid has played soccer and went to school with this kid for like 10 years. Their dad wants to be a business partner with me, and over this time, we just bonded through It's those little bonds that create a community in which we can start talking about bigger things, right? These are organic bonds that people have, that their children will see that and then start to trust people within that own community. That friend that your child played soccer with, now they're a business partner. One is a doctor, another's a real estate tycoon. Every time he want to open an office, he call his boy to find him an office where it's at. We don't even have that makeup at the ground level. That's why we can't really start anywhere.
You said it was $200 and some $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cheap.
It's
I mean,
very
we should
cheap.
go to that 10,000 per person to do something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, there was the guy did the drone coverage of it. He actually drove the streets and basically went through every building. And I was like, man, that would be super duper dope if you could get a group of people to put their money in, because you got to put your money in order to have buy-in, right? Like in order to want it to succeed and work for its success. But it would be a lot for one or two people. But if you can get 20 people and then they get 20 people, oh man, I know I'm an optimist. I just see I see where we lack in so many areas, and all we do is complain that it's somebody else's fault or why we can't do something, when the truth of the matter is, why don't we just do it our damn selves?
Man,
you know what? I seen an article that said some black women was actually doing that. No sauce. It was like 3 or 4 black women in Georgia doing that exact same thing.
no,
I gotta find an article. It's
they're black
some
men
people are
and
trying to get it done.
now there are black people. It's Georgia again that I'm thinking about. They just bought. I think it was it was a group of black people, men and women, that bought land for like supermarkets and stuff, like some black supermarkets. So yeah, at the ground level, there are some people doing it, but it needs to be a bigger effort, and it does start with the family. And that, I think I'm gonna harp more on that trust thing, because look at the small hat community. It can't just be you making an investment. Remember, investments are actually supposed to work out. Businesses are actually supposed to make money. And imagine being a part of a culture where they won't let you fail. We don't have that culture. The small hats, I forget what the word is. Do you know they have a word that means don't let this person fail because they are our family? You can eat at their restaurant and the restaurant can suck complete ass, but you're only eating. You will go tell them that this food sucks complete ass and you need to get a new recipe for such and such. But we will eat here every night, so you have enough business to work on that recipe. Like so their strength in business comes from their culture, right? What do we do once we have one bad experience at a black restaurant or something? Man, here go niggas again. Here go black people, man. We can't do shit like that. We find a reason to say no. We find a reason to be like, I ain't messing with y'all. Right? So that no, they do it completely opposite, and we need to adopt some of those characteristics. I will not let you fail. I will only get my couches from this black furniture store. I will only get my car from this black dealership. You skip me on my warranty. I'm gonna let you know I know, and you're gonna replace this engine, but I'm gonna still recommend you to other people. Like if we get that intensity with helping other black people, we could do a lot of things.
It's called Zadka. Zadika.
You looked it up?
Yeah.
It's a word. But
yes, TZEDAKEH, and it means the obligation to do what is right and just, and part of helping others.
Damn, boy. I mean, damn.
And it's charity as well.
Yeah,
it's not equivalent to charity, but it translates to charity.
Yeah, I think I've even seen it personally. Didn't know, and even the term is more ambiguous, but when it broken all the way down, that's a huge part of it. Making sure people's businesses function. If there's a woman who is trying to work on some kind of business, you send her wife to go watch their kids, so she got time to do that. That is what community is all about, and we need to see more of that. And let me make this is completely apart from money. We lose other things, and this is something that is personal to me, and I had to say it. And I made my sister-in-law cry when I said it. When I talk about marriage, or they watch the show. I hope they're not watching this show because I'm gonna put all her business out. When they watch these shows, they hear me say the things that I say. And she had gotten an attitude and said, "Why do you care so much if we get married anyway?" And I said, "I feel like you have robbed me and my children of an experience. My natural best friends are supposed to be your husband." I said, my friend, like, you see what I'm saying? My children don't have an uncle because you're not married. I don't have a good friend with like circumstances because you're not married. She wasn't ready to hear that shit. You see what I'm saying? I said, I don't have this. You are robbing me and my children of an experience. Your sister, the other sister's not married. You are robbing us. In fact, y'all look to us for everything. We have nobody to spread the family dynamic responsibility around because we're the ones that are married, so everything falls on us. And she was like, that shit made her cry. Like, damn, I never looked at it like that. That is also something that these children are robbed of positive experiences with uncles and being left at their houses for sleepovers, and your parents going out of town, you coming with us for a week and we gonna take care of you. All of that shit matters, right? Imagine me, a husband who got like 5 sisters-in-law, none of which are married. So I got to go hang with my single friends because my natural best friends, whom are supposed to be their husbands, are not present. Nobody thinks about it that way.
I never thought about that shit. But so my 2 girl cousins both got husbands. My other one, she got a fiance. All of the it's a lot of males, right? So all the men, they got women, and my wife best friends with 90% of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they kick it. She talking more to my one cousin that I was closely raised with than I do. Like, she informed me of stuff that's going on. That's crazy, Mike. That is crazy.
And Marcus, they're not even friends, bro. They're family.
They family. Yeah, they definitely family.
Family. You see what I'm saying? Like, woo. This shit is deeper than we give it credit for, man.
Yeah.
You guys have made some awesome points off of this topic, and we can, go on for days. I just don't want us to be at the bottom anymore. But you're right. The solution is we have to create families. Bring back.
I did do some bullshit though. I just was thinking about it. So my cousin, her fiance, he wasn't her fiance at the time. We was at a wedding, right? And my grandfather was, I don't know, I shouldn't probably tell this story. Fuck it. So we at the wedding and shit, right? And my grandfather was like, how many kids you gonna have? I'm like, I'm gonna have 5. I'm gonna have 10. And I'm like nudging him because they ain't got no kids. Like, how many y'all gonna have, man? Quit playing. Quit being a bitch about this. He got offended. So I'm like, oh, you care? You got an issue? Okay, fuck it. Come on, let's go to the back of the wedding. So we at the wedding and shit, right? I'm about to piece his ass up. So I go clean in on him. I'm like, bro, you been dating my cousin for too long not to have married her. This is some bullshit that you on right now, bro. Like, for real.
How many years were they married? I mean, they dated?
Shit, like 5. And she's around 30. Like, she is in her mid 30s. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if you rob my cousin out of chance to have kids, we're gonna have a whole fucking problem, Joe. Like, we in the back of the wedding, I'm about to fight the man. And we ended up getting cool after that shit. But I'm like, if you don't want to be with her, let her go. Like, let her try and go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, have her chance of life. Her biological clock winding down. I see Buddy like Sam shit, my nigga. No, I'm looking out. Look, if you a man, bro, you charged with protecting the women in your family, the women and children in your family. If you don't understand that charge, I don't know how I could talk to you as a man. Like, for real. When shit go wrong with your family, they come look to you. So if you gotta get shit in order, they supposed to come to you. I know you might not understand that, and you might be stuck on internet talking points and shit. I live in real life, my nigga. I'm moving like for real. Like that goofy shit. Get your goof ass out of here, bro. For real. You niggas be lame as fuck with that shit. I swear to God.
Finally, somebody said it. Thank you. Jesus. I read it too, Marcus, and I was thinking the same shit.
Goofy as hell.
Oh, okay. All minds clear. Ain't no one else is saying all minds clear. I wonder why people waste people's time like that, especially, it's like at this point.
It's shame for you, just let her go. I'm not saying you gotta marry her, but don't hold up, because she had a period of time where her biological clock gonna go down. If you play these games like, oh yeah, I'm just keep fucking her until she run out, and then you want to have kids eventually and she left in the wind, that's my cousin. That's like my little sister. Like I just told you, I don't look at my cousins like my cousins. They my sisters, bro. So I view that shit differently. I don't give a fuck who don't care about that shit. I'm keeping it a bean.
Look, bro.
See me about it.
And look, bro, you said it right the first time. You don't owe that brother no other types of explanation. If he don't get it, he don't get it. He won't get it. Period.
Yeah, niggas built different.
I wonder, what do you think it like what do you think people don't see that? Like when they're with somebody and they're just wasting their like. I'm trying to figure out because you can't solve the problem if people don't know that there is or people don't know there is a problem, or you can't get in the psyche of why people do that in the first place. Because I think for me, I'll try not to waste people's time. I'll feel enough compassion for that person, especially if that person's a good person, to put myself in that person's shoes to not want to do it, if nothing else, to hurt that person. I wouldn't want to hurt that person by doing that to that person. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something that can't be given. I can't. This is the problem.
I mean, these are
time. You can't waste time. Time can't be given back, right?
Well, Shan, you heard me say in the past that we got to give the elders credit because they were right. They tried to tell us all this shit in the beginning.
Okay.
They said, keep sex out of it. Right? They keep sex out of it. Do not get to know someone on a personal level, on a spiritual level, and that's the way relationships are supposed to be done. We don't keep sex out of it, right? And then you'll have situationships and lust, and that you're confusing for love. But then you love the person, but not in a way that's genuine enough to feel like you have that epiphany as a man to marry them. So
be responsible for them.
Exactly. So with men, it's kind of weird because the women will be like, well, if you love me, marry me. Well, it's not that simple. I stopped asking all the important questions once we started having sex. So now I just want to keep having sex. And then I realized that you are a good woman. Then we moved in together. Then I'm getting everything I was supposed to get in the marriage, but I'm still frightened of marriage because of some of your behavior. And it literally becomes a situation where he's he feels too strong about you to let you go, but he's too much of a coward to marry you. And it's sex that started it. It's us in sinning that started the whole thing off to begin with. So the elders were right. You got to know someone before all of that. And you'll notice for some reason when men don't have sex with women while they're dating or courting or whatever, they marry them extremely fast. They marry them women in 6 months to a year. Probably because they're trying to get the draws. But you know what I'm saying? They ask all the right
questions.
They ask all the right questions. They know if they want to be there or not. Their head is clear. I'm just saying.
That's true. I mean, for the most part. Some men don't stick around for the 6 months to even get to know. That's the crazy thing about it. They just don't. Oh my God. I don't even know how to fix that. That's so that is our main concern at this point. Will we not all agree by the show of hands?
What's that?
What's
the question?
That being the dilemma. It's just getting people to value marriage, to go ahead and go over the hump and actually get it done. Not just say it, but to actually, okay, let's do it.
But there's another caveat. I'm sorry, there's another important note. A lot of men did not have an example of marriage. So they're not just going to pull marriage out of a hat like, hey, let's do this. It's very scary. I'm sure Marcus didn't say it, but somewhere in him getting cool with that guy he was talking about, they talked about something like that. Why he's not married.
Yeah, hell yeah. I asked him. Hell yeah.
He's either not prepared for it. He's never had an example of it. He's actually afraid. We don't use those terms as men, but you're actually afraid that you're going to fail. That's most people's problem with it. I don't know how I'm going to uphold this thing, bro. If we stay boyfriend and girlfriend, it always gives one of us a way out because I don't know how to commit long term to something like that. And I'm afraid I'm going to fail her. I'm afraid I'm going to fail the children we had together. Like, these are real feelings that people have that can be explored if we just dig, a little bit beneath the surface.
Israel, first of his name, with the 499. If she didn't prioritize being married, why should you? If she had no issue with wasting her time, why do you? You older black men coddle these women too much.
You know, but you want
So
to
Azrael, I care because I'm a leader of my family. I care because I'm trying to set a precedent for the men that come into the family. I care because I love my cousin. I care because that woman is a part of me like I'm a part of her. I care because I took my vows and responsibility as a man seriously. I care because she was working her hardest to try and make that work. And we was trying to figure out the difference between why they didn't get married or why they hadn't took the next plunge forward. I care because that is my responsibility as a leader within my family. I'm gonna care. I'm gonna continue to care. I'm always gonna care, man. I like, and it's no shot at you. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but brother, we have responsibilities to the people in our family. Like, there's no way around this. I know we're on the internet and it may not seem like that's something that matters and all this shit, but we absolutely are supposed to be men standing in the gaps for the women and the children and the people in our family. If they can't count on us, what type of men are we? We are men. Like, I know you are women equal. No, they're not. And we are men. Like, stop that shit, bro. Come on, stop it, bro.
And let me just take it from a different perspective, right? So he said, if she didn't prioritize being married, why should you? So I want to know what makes him think she didn't prioritize marriage, because she's not begging for it. You know, maybe she mentioned it. If you know that's a goal of hers and she's giving you everything to show that she's a good wife, that is her prioritizing marriage, right? She's submitting to you in some type of way. That's her doing her part. She's not in control of being married. That's your part. Men are in control of marriage. So she can only do her part and show you the type of woman that she is in hopes that you find that her to be a wife for you, right? So she's actively doing her part by being there for you, caring for you, nurturing you, I'm sure they're having sex with each other, you know, because women control sex and she's giving it to you freely, right? Consistently with you. I'm sure she's there for every single one of you. So she's doing her part. Now she just needs you to do your part. She doesn't control that. So I think that what you're saying is, if she's not prioritizing it by saying, hey, are you going to marry me tomorrow? Are you going to marry me? Like you said it, you know, nobody's going to just keep saying it over and over, because at this point, you know, she wants marriage. She's already said it. It doesn't go away. She's just now trying to keep showing you that she's the wife for you. But what are you going to do with it?
And we all know, like, I know y'all don't see women this way, but if you get them good sex, it's really hard for women to detach by the way they connect with you. So you could be hitting her for a long time and just stringing her along, bro. Like, at some point, we got to realize the power that we have. Like, that's why I talk about this all the time. If you just gonna be sliding shorties for sex, make sure you just keep it that. Like, we become irresponsible when we pretend like we want to slide for sex and pretend like we want to be in a relationship. If that's not what you want, then just get sex. I'm not tripping. I'm one of the greatest when it came to that shit. Just get sex. You don't gotta pretend to create a fake relationship. Give her a chance, bro.
Get it. She'll know. Go there, have sex, leave. Only call when y'all. And at that point, she'll understand it. But no, y'all be sitting here trying to get these relationships, like y'all doing relationship things without being in a relationship. And so it becomes confusing. And then when you do that for a year, 2 years, 3 years, it's like, you know, it plays with your mind. So I just think that, and to men, it's like, oh, well, she knows. Well, assuming that you tell her, it's just, you know, it's kind of like the BBL conversation. Women are very action-oriented people, right? You can tell him something, but he's doing it, whether it's right or wrong, but he's doing this for me. Oh, he does this and he does that. So they'll have this fantasy in their head, right? Even though in his mouth he's saying one thing, they go by, what are you actually doing? But unfortunately, what you're actually doing is not really what you think. So it's kind of confusing a little bit for women. And that's pretty much what the issue is.
Okay, speaking to that point, John the Baptist with the 5. If she gave up the sex before marriage, she did not prioritize marriage. Granted, I can see that point. But from a biblical standpoint, I can see that point. Living in today's day and time, yeah, I would say that's I would have to concede that point.
So no, No. So if you're looking at it from a biblical point, which I stand on, you are absolutely correct. Because you're not supposed to be having marriage before sex, right? But if you're looking at it as a person who does not look at biblical, and she's looking out for that person, and he's saying that this is a need that he wants, and this is the man that she wants, and she wants to fulfill that need, she's gonna do it, right? Because she loves him. She's gonna try to fulfill every need he has. That's just how women are. We try to come and fix the, try to show value in some type of way. You always say bring value besides sex. But if my man comes with a need, right, and I love him, I probably shouldn't do it, but you end up doing it because you just do. It sucks because you shouldn't. A lot of shit you do.
Meanwhile, the dudes in this space to say shit like, "Man, I'm not even gonna marry if I can't if she either a virgin or B not giving it out." So what is a woman supposed to do? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, I understand what.
Yeah. Remember, it's all a part of the culture. The women shouldn't care what the men say. The elders told you. That's why I said the elders were right. It's a marketplace issue. That's what the sexual marketplace is. Now, everybody's having sex, and women even pretend as if it's meaningless to them. So, as in the dating environment, men are going to prefer that. Naturally, we are sexual beings. That's what we want to do. Now, women take sex out of the marketplace and start putting qualifying factors and barriers. What the hell a man gonna do? This is showing that unless we're talking about grape, men don't get sex unless a woman is willing to give it to them. So that is we ultimately know that is where women have the most control. If you want men to marry you, so think about it this way: the group that's married the least honors or has the most meaningless sex. That's what we can say. The group that is married the least, because we have promiscuity is.
I gotta disagree with you, Mike.
No, promiscuity is a death blow to marriage.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I'm saying the group that's married the least. I don't think we the most sexually active community. I'm gonna keep it real. I do not think it's us. I think it's the other group that's directly on the opposite of us, judging by my experience in college.
On the opposite of who was that?
John the Baptist with John the Baptist with $5.
So listen to this.
Hold on, let me just read the super chat.
That could be anybody. Well, go ahead. Okay,
you know who it is. John the Baptist for $5. Bible or not, don't have sex before marriage. You lose every time. That's fair, John. I can't even argue that.
Can't argue that at all. But let me go back to the point that you just made. I find this too. When you are promiscuous, you focus on that. That takes up so much of your time, and that's probably why we at the bottom. That's probably why we at the bottom. You can't focus on nothing else. You're such a pro in the streets. You can't be a pro at work. You can't be a pro in nothing else because you too busy being a pro in the streets, broke in the streets. Take that.
I don't agree.
Some of the most players ain't.
So I would agree. Marcus, I would agree if you're talking about the other group in sheer numbers, but I think we beat by percentage, and I think the percentage is also attributed to poverty, because the group who has the largest percentage of poverty will have the most out of wedlock childbirth by percentage, not number. Right, and that is us.
Wait a minute. Did this just go circular? Did the argument just become circular? Get back to the family? Did this just get circular? I love it. Because basically, if we get back to having the traditional family, whatever that means to you, I guess. But if we can get back to the traditional family, the girl or the female will then start bringing her potential mate home to meet who? Dad. And if dad don't approve, daughter might not like it, but you should tell him to kick rocks.
You hit the nail on the head, bro. Because what people like to say is there are 2-parent households where girls get pregnant. Yes, but by percentage, if you put a barrier, meaning a father's fear, a father's guidance in the way, And the higher percentage there are of fathers, the lower percentage there is of this bullshit, behavior and lack of marriage and all of that. Just as a man, I'm not a woman, but as a man, for a very long time, the fear of my or the fear of disappointing my father weighed heavy on my spirit in almost every big decision I made in my life. The same for my sisters, my brother, so on and so forth. So the more you have of that, good fathers that raise their daughters, and you care about what your father thinks. My daughter is 6 years old, walking around talking about, Daddy said he gonna pick my husband, because I keep telling her that shit. Of course, I can't really pick him. We don't have that kind of culture, but I can absolutely disapprove. I can absolutely disapprove and be like, nah, this is a clown. I can't, you deserve better than that. I could do all of that. So she can know you could do what you want, but I don't approve of that shit.
So I wanted to, my guy here, thank you for contributing to the conversation. So this is, and I'm gonna get to the other super chats, you guys. We see them and we appreciate them. Okay, so this is what irks me. Women make college and career a priority, right? First of all, majority of Black women did not attend a college. I wish y'all would stop saying that. 37% is not the majority, first and foremost. Second of all, when it comes to debt, the people who have the most debt, college debt, are not people who attend college the most. It's people who care less about education. Meaning, if you don't do what you have to do while you're in school, you're going to have to pay for college. You won't get a scholarship, okay? School can be free. Just like school can be free. You just got to take, instead of being the C student, you got to strive to be the A student, right? You got to be the best at it. Just like when we talk about Asians, they're record numbers in the United States that go to college. They don't even have the most college debt. We attend college at the league. We're the smallest group in college, right? But we have the most debt in college. Why? Because we don't do those scholarships. We don't take it serious. Now, we do enough to get by to get into college, but you're not excelling to the point where you can get a scholarship to have your college paid for. There's so many opportunities for scholarships for Black people. So many. You just don't go after those scholarships.
No, this is why I said now I've changed my stance on college. College is for rich people and smart people. If your parents are not legacy and can't afford to pay for you to just give it a shot, or you are not smart enough to get a scholarship, you should be out here working with your hands, bro. That's
I don't know.
Nothing wrong with that.
And let me just say this: when we looked at debt, period, let's just take debt. Let's take debt as far as college out of it. Black people are in debt, period. Whether it's college or anything, what's the difference between $50,000 tuition and $50,000 ride with your big rims on it? At least one, you invested in yourself. The other one, you invested in that ride, them rims. Like, which one? They're both debt. It's the same thing. I'm not understanding why that's not, But again, they're not the majority. Most Black women are not in college. Only 37% finished with a degree. 37%, not the majority.
So my message to the men tonight: be in the lives, participate in the lives of your kids, be active, be involved. And one of the main things is you will be the one that guides them throughout their life and help them to make the right decision. For example, what Trigger Mike just said about college being for broke people or being for rich people or smart people. However, you're broke and your kid might be a B kid and a C kid in college, but he needs that degree in engineering in order to reach that goal. It's your job to guide him to that. It's your job to get him to that. So men, like, I understand we deal with a lot of shit, especially from some of the women we choose to be our baby mothers. I get that we deal with a lot of that shit, but you have to be a man about it. You have to bite down and do what you got to do. Quit making excuses and quit giving these women outs. Make it as difficult for them as they're making it on you. Make it as difficult for them to keep your kid from you as as they are making it difficult for you to be in your kid's life. Do what you got to do. Quit complaining about these women, because someone said it earlier tonight. We have more power than we give ourselves credit for.
So
use that power.
My apologies. So
no, you're good.
Oh, my apologies. But so somebody said that the type and amount of debt makes a big difference. You're absolutely right. The type, that's one is an investment that's going to appreciate, the other one depreciates, right? So this is the thing about college, right?
Which one is an investment?
So what I'm saying, let me finish what I'm saying. The reason why people like to talk about educated Black women is because guess what? That's who y'all want. You only talk about the things you want, right? But what you don't understand is the reason why she walks that way is because of her experience at college. You understand what I'm saying? College is more than just academia. It's also, it teaches you so much more. I always say 70% of what you learn in college takes place outside of the classroom. It's networking. It teaches you how to move, how to carry yourself. It teaches you so many things, right? That's why you focus on that 37% and not the other percent, because they don't have the same type of demeanor as the women who went to college. Okay, that's first and foremost. Because I say if it's an issue, just date the majority. The majority who didn't go to college, just date one of them. They don't have the loans. They don't have all these things. Just focus on them. They are the majority. You have a huge picking to choose from. If none of that matters to you, just choose from those women. Okay? That's first and foremost. Second of all, when it comes back to family, we can not only just be in the village together, we have to teach our kids the importance of education. The thing about some of these people, they put education on the forefront. They start at a very young age, discipline when it comes to homework, activities, all of those things. When I have kids who stay after school, especially for just learning, it's always Asians, whether it be Indians or East Asians. It's never us. We usually have for athletics.
Yeah.
You're there to learn more about science, to do, to learn more about physics or whatever it is they need to learn about. We're there for the athletic program. Let's just be honest, because they care more about education than we do. And because they put so much investment in that at the beginning, they win in the end because they get the scholarships.
Yeah. I want to add to that too. There's two reasons why there are Asians and Indians there. Have y'all ever noticed that they're not good at sports? So
that is their sport.
They're not good at. What else would they be doing? What else can they be good at but chess and math? Okay, so let's just that's one reason when people say, "Oh, they're not playing sport," it's because they're not good at them shits at all. Like I live where my son goes to Taekwondo is in the Indian part of the neighborhood. They bought like an entire section of the community, so all the people in there are Indian. These people uncoordinated. They'd be like, kick, like they can barely lift their damn legs. It's hilarious. But what I also want to say is this is especially for the young boys, man. In order to have a strong society, you have to have strong boys and men. That prove me wrong. Can nobody prove me wrong? And we need to stop forcing, I would say, college on boys as if it's the only path for them, because it's actually not the path for most of them. And here's why. Trade school and skill. It's not about schooling. That we really shouldn't be about like the college degree, because most people have useless college degrees. If we want to be honest, it's about competence. It is about competence. There's a video going around of a black dude sitting there showing young boys how to put on brakes. The guy who fixed my first car, every time I would pull up, his son was the one that changed my oil. His son was like 15 years old. You're teaching those boys how to make money. When they get the competence to do something such as mechanic, electrician, anything like that, imagine doing that. By the time they're my age, they'd have done that job for 20 something years. They will be a master electrician. They will be a master mechanic. You know what I mean? So that is where men's bread and butter is. A lot of these jobs that we hope for, like this is why I'm saying college is useless now. While everybody is out here building their skill level up, we are training ourselves to hopefully to throw our name in a pool to get a job. That does not work, especially for men. It's not the model that most of us need to be brought up in. To be quite honest, if you ask a 17-year-old high school senior what they want to do with the rest of their life, and it isn't STEM or being a lawyer, and it doesn't require college, and they can't tell you right there and elaborate their entire track through it, they have no business going to college.
We're on the same path. Let me read these super chats. John the Baptist, the big homie with the 5.
And Marcus, give me a second because I wanted to answer that question because I don't like changing subjects and I forget.
Okay.
And JR does clips, so it has to stay in the same, But give me a second because I wanted to piggyback off of something that he said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I put that up with the education does not necessarily mean college.
Yeah, I said it doesn't mean formal schooling.
So what I'm saying to you is when people think when you speak about education, they automatically like, well, you don't have to go to college. Who said anything about college university? I just say education. Education starts when you're young and you grow up and you're educated. Who wants to walk around being a dummy all their lives? Who wants to walk around on a 12th grade level all their lives? How can you be the best of you without being educated? And education does not have to be a form of education. Even if you go to become a mechanic, there's a form of education that comes with that. You just don't learn how to. You weren't born putting a tire on, right? You have to go get a certification. That's education. Okay, that's a form of education.
So I wrote this. I'm the one who wrote this in the chat. So we're saying the same thing. Education does not mean formal school. Trade school is education. So I'm with you there.
And I highlighted it.
So let me finish saying this. So that there's no we agree with each other when we say you don't have to have. So let's just take that. I don't know why y'all think that people think that you have to have a formal education. Nobody's saying that you have to have a formal education. Nobody's saying that. We're just saying you need to be good at something. You need to be good at, right? And you got to be able to be. People like people who are swift. Okay, we don't like. You need to know something. Just put it that way. And I think that sometimes what we do is we get through life. We're like, oh, I can do this. But what you don't understand is even with that, you need education because most of these things come with testing, right? You have to be able to test. So you say, let's get a certificate in computer science or IT, right? Like those tests are easy. You got to learn the material. And that just doesn't come easy for everybody. So if you just sitting here thinking education is not important, I'll just do an IT because somebody's told you that you don't need a degree or a college degree to get it. It's not easy certification. You still have to have enough smarts or enough information about it to be able to pass the test. So understand education is important no matter what you go into.
And we're saying the same thing because somebody's saying men need to go to college. For those of y'all that don't know, I work at a college. I am a director at a college. Men and women. And here's the thing. The students that come through now, through college mostly, are non-traditional students, meaning they're single moms, they're people in their 30s, they're people who already had kids, already had jobs. What do we call it? Second degree, people. So one of the things that you'll find is that our society, and this is just America in general, is not mathematically inclined. Okay, they fail my statistics class religiously. Both of them. They fail math fundamentals, addition, subtraction, divisions, fractions, mixed numbers, proportions. They fail that. Simple math. We are not a mathematically inclined. I'm not making jokes here. I'm not saying that we're dumb. What I'm saying is we need to learn the other way. We learn best, and this is why I made a reference to the boys, when we work with our hands. Basically, learn backwards. Learn on the job. That is where we get our stars from in this society. A lot of and that tactile type of learning, that kinesthetic learning, that's sitting there up under the engine, looking at the camshaft move. That is how our society needs to learn. We do too much of this sit down in a classroom and thinking that's where we're going to get a lot of the knowledge from. No, get on the job and learn the knowledge there. In fact, some of the best students are people who did a tech level job, then go up to the advanced level engineer. because now they know the system better than everybody, and they learned it that way. Kinesthetic learning is like something we downplay, and we think everybody's an audio and visual learner. So that's all I'm saying. But no, y'all.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's for everybody. So why do you think that people think that? Why do you think we get so antsy about, like, you know? I just feel like it just turns into college, you know, like the whole education thing. Like, what do you think that that's an issue?
Say that. I mean, you're
okay. So my question is, why is it that, because I get we get a lot of pushback for this, right? Why do you think that the pushback, like you just said, trade school, okay? What is it that's going on that makes people jump at when you say college, or jump at when you say because if you go to college, okay, that was great for you. That's the decision you made for you. If you decide not to go, that was great for you. Why do you think that people are such pushback on it? Like it's a negative thing if a person decides to go, so to speak.
I'll jump in and take this for you. All right, so shout out to the brother Israel First in his name. He went to school for business and mathematics, right? A lot of times when we hear about people going to school, it's not for a specialized subject, which Mike was touching on earlier. A lot of times it's just education for the sake of education. And in that case, people use education for the sake of education to belittle and not even demonize, but to enforce a social classism within Black people. And when that's done, it creates a narrative, right? That I'm better than you because I went to college. And, I went to college as well. But I don't look at it from that standpoint. But there are people who do. And there are people who look down their nose at people because they don't have a master's or because they don't have a PhD. And they use those things to create a social hierarchy that does not actually exist.
Well, I think that hierarchy
exist, but I don't think it
exist because of education.
It doesn't.
I know plenty of people that make way more. When I mean way, I mean like you could put all the PhD people you've ever met in your life in one room, and these people make way more money than them. If we want to use finances as a currency in which we judge people off of, or if you want to talk about just overall intelligence and critical thinking, they would blow them out the water as well. It just means you continue to further your education among a specific path. So you may be an expert at that, but you're not an overall expert in general at life. Then you have to factor in book smarts and street smarts, or just general critical thinking. But I'm gonna digress, Mike. You got it.
Yeah, because even y'all saw that video of the woman who has a PhD, and there were like 6 other women in the room and one country redneck dude, like the truck driver guy, and they said rank the IQ of everybody in this room. Said, I'm the PhD. I'm number 1. He had the highest IQ in the room. Remember, I used the word competence for a reason. The expansion of the college model got people out here thinking that they're smarter than they really are. Mm-hmm. And just like Marcus said, it's used to belittle people. You're not smarter than somebody just because you got a college degree. I have a master's degree. I've met several people that can articulate and break down points on several subjects way better than I can. And then if we're being honest about what we learned in school, it has nothing to do most of the time with the shit on the job. It's like I got into the hospital, was like, why did I learn all that shit just to come here? And I got to learn all new shit on the job. Like, you see what I'm saying? School is just school. It's like a barrier put in the way for admission to a job, right? These people who have been on the job for years learning the system, they are far more competent than us.
So let me. So I don't think that. So if I go outside, right? I live in a pretty decent neighborhood. Okay, I don't think I look at my neighbors like, oh, did you go to college? Are you in a college educated? You know what I'm saying? I don't think that class is broke up that way. I think that that's something it's a talking point on the YouTube. But in real life, when you walk outside, if a person is in your surrounding, they're in your environment, it's just what it is, right? So I don't think that that's necessarily in real life. I don't think that that's necessarily true. Because I could be living next door to a guy. As a matter of fact, I think there is a guy who owns a plumbing business. I don't know if he went to college or not, but he's able to afford to live in the neighborhood. I don't treat him any different than I treat anybody else in the neighborhood. Like I don't understand that. You understand what I'm saying? Like when we look at the grand scheme of things and how the world really works outside of the internet, do you really, if he's in the same social circle that you are, do you really be like, oh, because you did, then you got there this way? You are, shit, Bill Gates didn't even graduate from college. Smartest guy, So I don't think that is necessary. I think that we like to think that it's looked at that way.
But Marcus used the correct word, though. Marcus used the correct phrase. He said, it is looked at that way. They used it to create a social hierarchy.
Okay.
And it's not just a YouTube talking point. You can see how people use education to spear other people to make qualifying statements about why they're smarter on any particular subject. Well, you would know, just to be honest, look at the way women treat men that didn't go to college. On these panels, any channel you go to, let a man be speaking. You uneducated mother. You got a 4th grade reading level.
But how would they know that? How would I know who has gone to college? And do we go? What college did you go to? I don't even know what college you went to. If you mentioned all the time,
okay, all right.
Know that you went to college.
So you remember when we watched that video and we broke it down of Princella asking all the guys how many books have they read on leadership? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. No, we just didn't want to answer that bullshit. What the fuck I'm gonna answer that bullshit for? I read a lot of books. That's why we read a lot of books, but it's a tactic where it's like, oh, you're gonna do a qualifying statement because she was in the military and they made her read books on leadership. She took something that she does,
right,
exactly, to say, well, I read a lot of books on leadership, so I'm a better leader. That's what happens in these conversations. What college did you go to? Because when I graduated from something summa cum laude, right? It's a social hierarchy thing that people keep doing.
Well,
that was a bad example, Sugar Mike. That was a bad example.
I think it was a good example.
So this is the thing.
No, you make great examples, but for this specific one, I don't want to go off on a tangent. But when she referenced leadership, she's right.
No,
okay,
she was
about that specific point.
So
all right, we're not gonna go off on that.
All worked up. But what I was trying to succeed through my back, that's why because I know I got ADD. So Mike, what were you saying? Just the last point so I can get back on top. What were you saying?
No,
when she referenced books on leadership.
I know what I was gonna say. But people
she picked a specific subject to judge other people's intelligence on.
You guys are taking human nature. People do that in general. How many times married couples do that to single people, right? Everybody wants something. Listen, Marcus.
Only married women traditionally do that. I think married.
Everybody has something that they like to make themselves feel better than another person, right? Absolutely. Whether it be being an athlete, it's always you trying to up one person. Even you got 2 people who in the ghetto, they're gonna try to up one by being better at something. That's just how human nature works. Okay.
Yeah, I do the reverse.
Now, when we get into YouTube, because we are talking, it looks like it's maximized because we're in YouTube, right? Now, if you're talking about you're going out and you're dating, people want people who are compatible to them. Okay. I've already stated to you that most women are not educated. Most of them are not. They're just not. So with that being said, just like we talk about women and how you're staying, just fit in the mold, your tribe. Okay. And because if you stick with your tribe, who you're compatible with, it won't be an imbalance. It just won't be. So whatever that looks like, it doesn't have to be education. It can be any area of your life. Stick with what you're compatible with, and you won't have an issue with that. Who cares what other people think? They don't know you like that, and they got much to think about you. Then they need to be doing something else with their life because that's.
I would agree with that, Shan, but people overvalue themselves a lot of the time, and they put themselves in groups that they're not actually in. You say, what does that look like? All right, so it looks like getting a PhD and assuming you automatically qualify for somebody that makes $400K a year. A black man makes $400K a year specifically because you have a PhD, and that's not how that is qualified or quantified. That's not how that works.
Marcus, it's too many PhDs out here having sex with $30,000 men a year.
Right, but if you ask them who they want to marry, they may not say that $50,000 a year man.
But they have their kid. What's the difference? So what I'm saying to you is that is
the difference is marriage.
Listen, most women want marriage. Stop thinking women don't want marriage. They do. Any man they sleeping with, get that out your head.
That's not true.
Listen, most women.
I've seen women fuck 10 niggas in a room.
Listen, for the most,
they don't want to marry all 10 of them.
I'm not talking about the floozies who just sleep around. For the
most,
listen.
She's giving her age.
For the most part, if a woman
I'm on your ass today, Shan. I'm on your ass today.
I know women, for the most part, if she is consistently being there for you, and that is also sexually, she likes you. That's some BS that's out there in the streets. And if she has acquired the way of just having sex with you without the emotion, that's where she done did it too much. But if she is consistently having sex with, which is most women, they want that man. Pinpoint play. They may lie and say they don't. They do. They're putting their energy and their effort in their. Now there are women who make outliers, right? I'm not saying that is 100%, but for the most part, she wants that man. So with that being said, most women are not dating $400,000 men. It's just not enough of them to go around. Most of them are not. They can sit here. So it's kind of like saying, I'm going to build a woman, right? When you building a woman, ideally, you're going to put down all the things in your mind, the fantasy world that you want, right? But in reality, they ain't what you dating. For women, it's the same thing. If you ask a woman, oh, what you want? Oh, we're going by wants? It's like asking a genie, like if I had the perfect man, of course I'm going to say 400,000. But in reality, I'm sitting here catering to this 60,000 right here, and I love him. I love me some him, you know, and he don't make $400,000. That's the reality.
The reality is, if I like, so I'm gonna specifically keep this to the internet. Because I don't see this in real life. But the reality is, per the internet, they'll make that demand and then hold men who make $60,000 to a standard that they're beneath them based off of that. I have seen that only on the internet. In real life, I see these people getting together. But on the internet, per the internet, they'll say they deserve 400,000 because the nigga slid them a couple times. And then act like that the man who makes 60 is beneath them. You can't deny that.
$100 a year on the internet. Everybody got Gucci bags. Everybody on the internet flossing. They flying out every weekend. That's on the internet.
I'm just saying the internet say you ain't thick though.
Like your filters on the internet, you look good, and that filter, you take that filter off. Boom.
But she is, Marcus.
Come on.
But that's what the internet says.
In real life.
We're talking about it's a Chic. We talk about what's real. We're not going to even give that attention. We are talking about what is real. And reality is, when I go outside and I see black love, it ain't a black love for a $400,000 man. These are two people who are usually compatible with each other. They on the same level or whatever that looks like, and they just going along. They marry a little way. They happy together. They look like.
But Marcus, you used a bad example in this case. We need to stop.
You were just waiting to say that, Trigger Mike. I was mad.
No. This is what I'm saying. We need to stop using the 400K example, because ask these ladies to show you their baby's father, and that nigga don't.
They ain't got 400,000.
So
I can see that.
The baby daddy is the proving ground for that. But where you are right is that, or the distinction we need to make is these women with PhDs and their behavior in relationships. That is the part where it's like, all right, you are trying to create a social hierarchy where you think you can either treat your significant other a certain way, you think you can renegotiate gender roles a certain way, you think you can make demands of a man in a certain way because you have this made up status built by a piece of paper and a non-accredited university. You must got me fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
now you're speaking fast.
You said they got that from Everest. They went to Everest to get that. They got their PhD from Everest. They sexual market value came from Everest. You petty.
Mike, I can agree with you. It's the cockiness that is the absolute issue here. You thinking that you are better than whoever you're dealing with because of the credentials that you have.
Yeah.
and the attitude that comes along with it. Now I can agree with that because I've seen that myself.
Somebody need to create a app that lets you take a Kendrick cam and give you a full body rating, like based off of your significant other peer group age, and then you can only date within that range. I wonder how many marriages we'd get if that happened. If it was like you step back, do a Kendrick twirl, and they say, you know what, you ain't got no ass, but you got some titties, so we gonna give you a 6.5 on the body. You're pretty, but your hair is short, so we can give you a 7.5 on the face. We're gonna overall average that to 7. You need to date a man who's a 7, judging by the Kevin Samuel standard. What's that, $70K a year? Yeah, and then put couples together based off of that. Would that work?
Is that different from women basing men off of their careers? What you just did some superficial shit right there. So how is that not the same as a woman being superficial with a man when it comes to his finances?
The first word in superficial is super, means it's great. So what I'm saying is,
you trolling,
the gin and tonics got me, man. The gin and tonics got me. That's all I would say. The gin and tonics got me.
Shan, I understand what you're asking.
AP look like you about to go train Tank Davis in the morning. What are you wearing?
So it could look like Rocky Marciano coach and shit. It look like he gonna run up them stairs in Philly and shit. Like at the end of his run and shit.
If we can end before 3, I will actually go running. But
well, we ended before 3.
But Shan, I understand what you're saying, but the issue is there are 3s and 4s in women that are trying to make these same judgments about men in their pockets. So you got to, if you're a 3 or a 4 as a woman, like I hate to break the news to you, you're not gonna get you're not gonna get 400,000. You're not gonna get 300,000. You're not gonna get 2 or 100,000. You better settle for that. You better be happy when that brother with 45 come hollering at you. But the problem is, if we're looking at it from a superficial point of view, the problem is these 4s and 5s think that they, according to the internet, that they qualify for a $400,000 dude, and that ain't the way it works.
Let me call Cap. Let me call Cap because I'm calling Cap not because I don't believe what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. That ain't who y'all talking about though. Because let's be honest. A 4 or 5 say they want something. Niggas ain't listening to them. They 4 or 5. Who gives a fuck what they say? You know what I'm saying? When they are 3, y'all ain't even listening to them. Y'all just like,
that's a fact.
Y'all got a problem when a 8 say it, and you're like, there ain't enough of them around for you. You know what I'm saying? You hoping to bring.
It's a lot of 8s out here though. So, it's a whole lot of 8s.
That's what I'm talking about, Marcus. So
it's a lot of 8s though. You don't think it's a lot of 8s out here?
Right. But what I'm saying to you is he tried to use the 3 and 4s like y'all care about what them 3s be saying. Y'all don't. Y'all will talk about a belly hitting the you know what I'm saying?
I can hear that. No, I can see it.
That's the realistically talk about what you're saying. Realistically speaking, you trying to put that 8 and 9 on the clearance rack so that 3 in a man can grab the 8 while she is on sale. Y'all trying to do the Jermaine Dupri, Janet Jackson thing, and we not gonna do
I honestly don't think that there are a lot of. I honestly don't think that there are a lot of 8, 9s, and 10s. I honestly believe there are more probably like adjustable 7s than anything. Like, and an adjustable 7 can go down to a 6 with 1 kid, can go down to a 5 with 2 kids, can go like it just keeps going down. Like, or she can make herself up and catfish some folks and become a 9.
Because your situation can make your situation can bring the value down. Absolutely. I think that's for both men and women. The situation that you're in can devalue you.
I don't agree with that either. If I'm making let's say I'm making $400,000 or $500,000 a year, my situation is I'm making $500,000 a year, regardless of what else is going on. Like there's a reason why Country Wayne got 10 kids, and a reason why Nick Cannon got whatever he got.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just like the opposite ends. Just like if I take a man who doesn't have anything going on, you talk about the high end. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about realistically speaking, the low end. So his situation is what's hindering him. If he don't have a place to live, that's going to hinder him. If he live in his mama's basement, that's going to hinder him. So it's on both ends. Something, because he could be a nice looking guy, but he lives in his mom's basement. That's a hindrance on his dating life, possibly. You understand?
No, it's not.
Oh.
If I lived in my mom's basement, I would still be able to date. Stop
Marcus,
the cap.
get your cocky ass off of here, okay? Go, tap that mic.
Stop the cap. All right.
Stop
the cap. Stop the cap, bro.
We know you can pull, Marcus.
No, I'm specifically saying that the basement thing wouldn't matter, is what I'm saying. So you can't really negate them off of that. That shit ain't gonna matter.
It don't matter for a lot of dudes.
Man, it does matter.
Not if it can make you laugh.
We're not talking about exceptional in looks. We're talking about the average guy who is not exceptional in looks. He's not, and he live in his mom's basement. Y'all got a whole name for them. They're incels, are they not? You got a whole name for them.
Incel is more of a behavior than it is a
mom's basement automatically puts you in that behavior.
You know what?
For shame.
I seen two niggas baby mamas fight.
You in your mama's basement at 35 and then because you helping your mama, she's taking care of you.
Hold on. Let's look at it in context. If I'm living in my mama's basement, do you know how much time I could actually dedicate to a woman that a woman's even like the time that women are asking for? And then furthermore, once I make her laugh, and if I'm living in my mama's basement, if I'm in my mama's basement, I'm probably rocking at least the 8. What? Y'all women fall for anything.
AP is right though. AP is right. That's how you get them. Because women don't have all of this knowledge about you when you meet them in the beginning. Once a woman already like you, dog, she down for whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just be real. She
true.
down for whatever. So you meet these women at work, they don't know a lot. You be like, yeah, man, I just got back from such and such. I was in the Navy for a little while. I'm staying with my parents, figure I stack some bread. No reason to go anywhere else. Like, and then she'll listen to that shit like, oh, this nigga stay with her mom, but she already want to eat lunch with you every day. She don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Now next thing you know, you bringing her up.
Marcus, prove my point that I made earlier. If a woman is opening her legs to you consistently for a whole, she got feelings for you.
I agree. That was my general. Hold on, Shan. We made the same point. That's what I was talking about being in a relationship and not wasting shorty time. I agree with you on that. But if he in the basement with Wagyu D, he gonna win. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. When I got back from boot camp, I stayed
with
my parents.
But you got a little Wayne. So that's circumstantial.
I don't know nothing.
I got nothing for that.
I'm dragging a baby leg around here. I don't know about
that's his circumstance hindering him. Right?
Well, there's only one way that she actually finds out, really, unless he take a picture. Well, and once he got them yams, does it really matter for him? He probably don't even care.
He dropped the pants and she's like, "Oh my god, I think my mom's calling me." Oh, I gotta let me catch this. Let me catch this call.
Hey, Isaiah, I'm sorry. He says we're going to address the main topic: gold diggers versus high standards. Even on our ass since the beginning, we have been so far off the rails, and it's my fault, Isaiah. I personally apologize to you, brother, because we have been so far off this topic.
Go ahead and do the super checks, Marky Mark. Do this.
All right. Let me see. All right. The big homie John the Baptist, shout out to this excellent black brother raising his kids, doing this thing, standing in the gaps for his family. We salute black fathers, black men who stand for excellence with the $5. The bag grab is killing black women. Yeah. The money bag. The money bag grab is killing black women and the families. Let's not kill the black women and families. Let's support them, uplift them.
People are too material motivated.
Materialistic. We all agree. John the Baptist, again. Exemplary black man standing in the gaps for his family with $5. If a man does not marry a woman in 1 year to a year and a half, leave her alone. Thank you, John. I appreciate that, because we got throwing back. If you're not gonna keep them, throwing back in the sea, bro. At least let them know they back in the sea.
Pull that back up real quick, Marcus.
Okay.
I don't necessarily agree with this. And the reason I don't agree with this, if you're doing everything that you're supposed to do especially in regards to vetting a woman, meeting the family, doing the things that you're supposed to do before you marry a woman. It could take about 2 years, maybe 2.5, if depending on how far everybody's spread out. So I understand the premise of what he's saying, but if you don't have intentions, which is the word I'd use, if you don't intend on marrying this woman and all you want is a bust down, be open, be honest, do what you got to do, leave her alone.
And say you want to bust down before you have a bust down.
Or at least after the first or second time. So John the Baptist with John the Baptist with the $5 at Trigger Mike. Get your boy and teach him there aren't that many 8s. So hold on, before you even answer this, Trigger Mike, I'm gonna ask you a specific question. Knowing what you know about me, do you think I do not have a good understanding of what this dating scale would be?
Nah, he knows what he's talking about.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, what was the question?
It still ain't a lot of 8s.
Thank you.
Well, this is interesting. Hold on.
What we can all agree on is, go ahead.
I said, if women only see the men that they're attracted to, that's what the psychologists say. You don't even pay attention to other men. Is it possible that men could also tune out women that they don't qualify for?
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. They can only see women that actually qualify. And I'm telling you, I be seeing it. Like, yeah, they there.
So I think
it could be the circles you move in. It could be the circles you move in. Because when I don't go out anymore since I had my kids, but when I was going out, I was going to Soho House. I was going to Beauty Bar. I was going to places where the average rate was between 8 and 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
let me actually add some.
There's a lot of them.
That means your view is skewed, sir.
Let me.
I would agree. I'm not going to debate that.
So
I can see.
What we realize now, as I started getting up in age and in income, most people aren't ugly; they're just broke.
They not tell them.
So as people start to advance, like I've seen girls do, what do we call it, a glow up?
Yep.
To where you see them out, you do that double take, like, Shonda, what the fuck? Like you see what I'm saying? And then you start hanging out in places like when I moved to Houston, I'm trying to go to some ratchet bar in Third Ward or something. They're like, no, bro, we having happy hour at the St. Regis. The women in there, like, you see what I'm saying? Those bars, that's where those women are at, and they don't go there unless they're that caliber of woman, 8 and up. So yeah, there are a lot of them, but.
So I've been to several house parties. Like when I was in LA, we have house parties in the hills. In Chicago, we have house parties on the directly on the skyline where you can see in all directions. And the average rate is like a 9, bro. They're there, and these women be single as a doorknob. They either be completely single. They be completely single. When I say single, they probably got somebody they mess with. But I'm saying as far as like a familial status, like kids, family, husband. Or they got a NBA, NFL, or XD boy baby mama. Those be like that crowd. So it's a lot of them as far as that I would see. So a lot would be 100 to 1. Men to women.
So I think that is important too to believe. Let's all just know that looks is all subjective, right? So I don't think that everybody has the same type. So let's also keep that in consideration.
No,
I don't know. I think
Marcus,
I
have universal.
I believe Marcus, Trigger Mike, and AP would agree when they see an 8, would agree when they see a 9, and would agree when they see a 10.
Based off
probably about 99% of the time.
Based off universal beauty, right? But there's universal beauty. But there are women who you may deem to be an 8 that maybe Marcus may not deem to be an 8, which may Trigger may not deem, because you may have an eye for something that because it's your type. It's kind of like me. I got this thing for a certain type, right? But my friends be like,
"What type is that?"
I'm not gonna say it.
No, we need some details.
They got
what type? What type is that, Shan?
Nigerian.
Like the eye of the
She like niggas with P-shaped eyes, bro. She like Nigerians, bro.
Is that what that is?
It's not Nigerian.
You know, a lot of Nigerian dudes are medium ugly at best. Like,
first of all, the Nigerian I dated was finer than if it was a little older.
That's why she got the grateful shirt. She was grateful.
Places in our lives, but he was a sexy man.
Why is the E full actually bigger than the? Never mind.
The what?
No, it's not the shirt. That's how her body is proportioning the shirt out.
Oh, the shirt.
Her E and L, it makes fuel look humongous.
Listen, I am not doing this with you tonight, Mike. You always come on here with these shenanigans.
That's
Look,
great.
you know how it be like empty and fuel? It just say E fuel like the Soldier Boy. Fuel. Crank that fuel. Crank that fuel.
Oh, Jesus. Man, you need to call them back. That font is irregular. Oh.
Y'all, I
said
put this shirt on. I was like, what am I wearing? It was just one of them days. Y'all see how my hair looking. I'm like, let's get these folks.
Oh, hey, somebody say you got a side job at Hooters. You got to file taxes. Your shirt say great fool.
Hooters. My booty too big. They be having them little booties.
Talk to make my stomach hurt.
I'm a little too curvy for Hooters.
Oh man, my head hurt now.
Oh my god.
I'm a little too curvy for Hooters.
So I know you got a video about gold diggers, but you ain't show it. I know you got one.
So my question for that, so my thing is, there's always a conversation. I think I may have gotten it from the group chat about women. At what point do we? So people always be like gold diggers. Oh, she a gold digger. Anytime you mention money as a standard, okay, and it can look like anything. If money comes out of your mouth, she's automatically labeled as a gold digger, right? So at what point is it not being a gold digger? Why do we always think because there's because she has maybe she's a part of a certain class, she just wants her husband to be in the same class, whatever that looks like. It doesn't even have to be all the way up here, just whatever it looks. Whenever you mention something of that nature, it becomes, oh, she a gold digger.
Good question. What it is most of the women's standards aren't consistent. It's standards when a woman is consistent with it.
Okay.
There are women that I tried to play around with that had standards. And they're like, boy, until you exhibit such and such behavior, don't come at me like that again. You're like, damn, that is a standard. A woman boldly claims her standards and stands on business.
Okay.
She's not just going any which way, or if it is, she's consistent. What we have today is we do have an abundance, we had an abundance of fake gold diggers or fake women with standards. They change their standards depending on the guy, the same way they change their standards depending on the panel. You see what I'm saying? They'll just change their standard any which way for how they're feeling. That means they don't really have them. And what there is an overabundance of women talking about money all the time. It's a money-driven finesse dating game, right? So maybe they were looking good in the club. They got a shot at a dude that is that maybe got something or a little bit of money, instead of being a little more what is it called? Not acquiescent, but agreeable. And because that's the man, that's the way they're supposed to be at their level. Now they're acting like a bad bitch who's a 9, and they want all these different things from him, whoop-de-whoop, when that wasn't their standard for the last guy, and they've never held consistent to it. So no, the one thing I've learned about women with standards is they really are consistent with it. They hold true to it, because here's the thing: when there's a girl that's really fine, and everybody's trying to get at her, all the dudes know her standard. They can speak to it. She ain't no joke, bro. You better come correct. Like, that's how dudes talk about women with standards. But most of these women are just faking their standard.
I tell you what my toxic trait is, Mike. I've told you this before.
I got a feeling I know what it is.
Tell me, what is it?
Go. I want to hear you say it. Go ahead.
Nah, I'm gonna leave it alone. Big Ant 11 with the
stop doing super chat in the middle unless it has the topic. What are you? What's your toxic trait?
I want you to break your standards, whatever they are for me. That is my toxic trait. Whatever. If you be like this, if I'm only dating dudes that are 6'2", and you're gonna date me at 6'7". I'm only dating dudes that are light skinned, you're gonna date me dark skinned. I'm only dating dudes that won't fight, you're gonna date me fighting. I'm only dating, I'm not gonna say that, but I want you to break your title, whatever that is. Like that's how I know you. That's how I know it's real. You know, how niggas be like, tap my name on you, so I know it's real. I need you to break your standards, so I know it's real. I seen a couple of 9s and 10s, and then start talking, and it drops down to a 4 or a 5 real quick. What up, Trigger Mike?
See, that don't have nothing to do with the topic. But thank you for the super chat.
But if we read them in real time, people can send them in real time.
Right, but it's you offer the clip, the topic.
Yeah, but all right. So look, this the logic, right? Okay. If people are feeling the urge to say, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that this is quantified at this specific moment, right? Because they sending them in the middle of a topic at this specific moment. We read in a specific moment. It incentivizes people to be like, you know what, this is what I want to hear about right now. That was my logic.
That's true. And he can edit.
That one wasn't it. That wasn't a good.
He can edit around the super.
Shout out to Big Ann 11.
Thank you, though. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so go back because I wanted to hear everybody's points. So with the original question, because now I gotta repeat the original question because we just got thrown off, right?
Phew. I'm cranking on it.
No.
Get the
at what point is it standard versus being a gold digger? Y'all get on my nerves.
Yes, I crank it every day. Look, so if you won't get me, if you don't talk to me, all right. Have you ever, all right, Trigger Mike, AP, I don't know if you buy cars like this. Trigger Mike, I'm assuming you might do. You ever pull up to somebody and then talk to them, and then they be like, oh, they be cool. And then when they see the valet pull up and they see your car, they be like, but I forgot to tell you this one thing. When can we hang out? Your ass will go there.
Off of a car?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the main thing. That will
they have whole Facebook channels dedicated to that. That exact.
Yeah, that's the main thing that is said. Look, I was at the gas station one day. Man, look, I'm never gonna go into it. But this is a real fact. I know them gold digger shows be cheap and don't be real. But if somebody see you in your whip, and it's like that, and it's a cut above the rest, and people see you, they will come to holler at you at the pump. They will come holler at you when you paying for your gas. They'll come holler at you while you pumping your gas and try and put their bid in. That shit is real. Cars, I don't know what they do. They speak to the masses. Be it old school, new school, Rolls Royce, Jeep, whatever. People be thirsty off of these cars. They want to be seen in it. They want to be seen next to it. If you look at most of the sexy pictures women take online, there was a time when all that shit was attached to a fancy car. Like almost every picture they had was their ass poked out, standing on a car, hunched over a car, leaned over a car. Cars is like the closest sign. Niggas don't even be needing houses. They could get a nice whip and fuck you in the back seat. Them S500s got large back seats, like large. You can let that seat all the way up to the front. They got curtains in the back, all type of shit. You don't even need a crib.
So those are the gold diggers.
This is real shit.
So those are the gold diggers. That's how you know the difference. So go ahead.
So
I kind of want to rephrase the question just a little bit.
Like you said, Phil.
And this is for both Marcus and Mike primarily. How do you, not including a car or the chains around your neck or whatever aesthetic that you see that you think is attracting them, how do you identify the difference between the standard versus the gold digger when you don't really know the person?
I'll either fake financial difficulty or explain the real financial difficulty and then see how you respond. So I'm very aware that in life you're gonna have ups and downs. I'm not an overwhelmingly rich person, right? So if you have any apprehension at all in regards to that, specifically based off money, I'm gonna pass on that. That's just how I feel about this situation. I'm not broke, but I'm not like a 10 billion up type shit. You know what I'm saying? Where I can never go broke in life.
So that's actually very easy. If we're talking about gold digger situations, we're talking about money. What does the situation look like without money? a lot of men make that mistake where they lead with their wallet the whole time in an effort to get what they want out of the woman. But if you're starting to have real feelings for a woman and you're trying to see what she would be like in a real relationship, that's the easiest thing to do is to remove money out of the situation. When you stop taking a girl to Trellix and Nobu, and you like, hey, you just come through. Where we going? Where we going? You know, I just thought we walk downtown, walk around the fountain, you know, catch a just start doing shit like you. They cannot handle that. Nah, I'm not going. I got other plans. A gold digger only wants to be seen with you spending money. And remember, this is a problem. This is almost like a mental illness in our culture where everything you do got to be grandiose. So if you're trying to really chill and you're doing that for a prolonged period of time, you can test out a woman's, her ability to be a gold digger very easy by removing money out of the equation.
AP, I'll take you one step further. I didn't go on dates until I was actually in a relationship with you. Like, I did not go on no dates until we was in the actual relationship. I'm not spending money on just random slides.
Listen to what I'm saying. Now, this is where there's a hole in that, okay? Because a woman can think that you have money and invest in you to eventually be with you. Does it make sense? Have y'all ever watched
They do it all the time. They do it all the time.
When they thought that man was a millionaire and they kept on giving him money and he became a millionaire because they kept giving him money. You know what I'm saying?
We're talking about desperate ass fat white women.
They weren't. Those weren't fat women. Those were.
Yeah, which show you talking?
It was called The Tinder Swindler.
Oh, I didn't see that.
The finesse is heavy within that one.
Finessing them. So what was happening was they thought they were investing in a millionaire. Basically, he'd be like, "Oh, I left my wallet," and they'd be like, "Oh, he'll just pay me back," and they'll, So that method. So listen, what I'm saying. Women, this NBA player got money, right? Who will buy him just show that, okay, I'm not a gold. I don't mind investing in you, but what she's really doing is just throwing it out there so it can look like she's not, but she's still a gold digger. And that's
so Shane.
All of them. I'm just saying that there are ways that gold diggers can still be gold diggers, but give you a little something to make it seem like they're.
I don't know. That's not.
So hold on, Trigger Mike. Let me just make this statement. You drafted me into the gender war for a 10-day contract for this statement right here. I've been drafted into the gender war for a 10-day contract. If you think that spending money on a man to prove to him that you're not a gold digger and you withdraw your entire bank account, take a loan out so you can show him that he can count on you for $200,000 that you did not have with hopes of gaining more money, you deserve to fucking be finessed. End of story.
That's
all right. Cut me from the team. Cut me, Trigger Mike. Cut me.
No, I agree with you. That wasn't the state. That wasn't the question. So you're right. If she does that, that's on her. What I'm saying to you is don't think that these little tactics you're using to see if she's a gold digger is like foolproof that she's not a gold digger. Because gold diggers are very manipulative people, right? They don't mind spending a little bit of money in hopes to gain a lot of money. Okay, so they'll do the whole, especially if you're on YouTube and y'all giving them all these talking points like, I don't want to date a woman who can't go in half. So she's gonna do that because she wants you. She wants you to feel like she's not that person. Because women can be very,
I actually disagree with that a little bit because I don't think that's a gold digger because this modern version of a gold digger isn't willing to spend any of her own money.
It can still be. There are different variations of gold diggers.
Maybe that's what it is. Because
a gold digger, listen to this. A gold digger is a woman who's only interested in you for your money. She has no interest in you as a person. She's only interested in your pockets, right? And some gold diggers know that you got to give a little to get a lot. So while there are some gold diggers, new school gold digger who just
Trigger might cut me.
And open with it. There are also some gold diggers that are a little bit using different little tactics. They're a little smarter about it.
The only thing that I would see like that I've had happen from a girl that I thought was a gold digger a little bit, and it's really about a man's status. So she might buy you little gifts to keep you around, to keep you interested in her, or saying, I'm gonna do something nice for you today. I've seen those type of things happen, but I think a large part of the game that y'all are playing
Now, y'all.
Well, I'm saying the game that she's playing is that she wants the world to see everybody, see you drop money on her. She wanna order this. Oh my God, man. This girl I was dating, she looked real good. She looked real good. And I was in for it. All right. The Saks Fifth Avenue in the Galleria, for those of y'all that live in this area, it has a restaurant. So every time I'd be like, I was new to the area, I was like, where did you want to go? She would always want to go to a super expensive restaurant. She's like, there's a restaurant in Saks I haven't been to in a while. I like their wedge salad and their filet is good. I literally, this was like after work, and I went and picked her up and spent like $210
on a salad.
But she loves doing shit like ordering things to the table. And like, ooh, you gotta taste it. And I was like, you really like this look. You said I'm a simple guy. I was like, you like ordering a bunch of shit. Let people watch you take one bite of it, and then have me pull out my credit card to pay for that shit. You like this. I was like, you live for this type of thing. So that I think that's what they like above all else.
Okay. Any more gold digging traits that we need to discuss with the audience? The difference between a standard and a gold digger. Now, it could be the standard of the ambiance of the restaurant. So, like, let me just take me for example. I like certain restaurants, right? Because I like the vibe of the restaurant. And these may be high class restaurants, but if I'm on a date with a man, I take in consideration. So I may order the asparagus, what, $12? You know, because every restaurant, even if it's a nice restaurant, has things on there that are not super expensive. So every time I go on a date with a man, especially if I'm just meeting him, I order one or two things. Please have Brussels sprouts or asparagus on the menu, and that is a side. That's all I'm eating. Because one, I just feel like when you overeat on a date, that's not ladylike. Who cleans their plate? I was always taught it's not ladylike to clean your plate on a date. I was taught that it's just like not good etiquette. You eat small as a woman. It ain't like, oh, I'm ordering this, I'm ordering. That's kind of tacky a little bit. Just a little bit.
The most expensive restaurants, they don't even give you enough food to get full. I don't know if y'all ever been like Alania or a place like that.
You're right.
That is true. I get offended though. I'm not gonna lie. I get offended. Like, like,
they be having 13-course meals, and it be just enough to taste your palate, and it should be like $2,700.
I can't pronounce none of that shit.
Be a lot.
The foie gras. What is this? Did I order this?
Yeah, I don't like foie gras. I don't like that. Look, but there was so those helium taffy app that like check this. I'm gonna send you in a link in the back chat. It's the #1 restaurant in the world, Trigger Mike. I think you would appreciate this.
The one in New York?
No, it's one in Chicago.
Chicago.
It's called Alania.
They must got stupid prices.
Yeah, you gotta book a reservation like almost a year in advance.
Yeah, I was like probably a year.
Alania.
But you're right, they're not. But so for me, now if I'm with my man, that's different. At this point, he knows who I am, right? But if I'm on a date, I like the taste of being somewhere nice, right? But at the same time, I don't think that I think the goal is to get to know a person and nothing else more than that. But if there's small little things, you just never overeat that. When people are like, oh, I want this, I want that, that's tacky. That is the tackiest thing. And if you ever taken it's just tacky. Don't do it.
Yeah. That thing you said about eating, one girl says, "Nah, I gotta eat cute because I really like you." This was like in college, and I literally was like, "You don't like your food?" or something. She's like, "No, I gotta eat cute because I really like." And that was the first time I ever heard that, because the girl I was dating before that fucking went to town on her plate.
Yeah,
look, she was so full. She would talk about, "Can we do it tomorrow night?" She was hilarious. We had dessert and some more shit. You know, when somebody leaning back in your car, she's like, "Good God, woo, can we do it tomorrow night?" I'm full. I was like, "Oh,
it's a real thing, though. You're not supposed to
hate yourself and not being able to take no. Oh, damn."
He said, "What now?"
I said she ain't want to have sex because she ate too much.
Like, that's tacky too, if you want to be honest.
You see it in the back.
What?
Pause.
I sent it to like when they do those taffy balloons where they like, so they got candy that it floats in a balloon on the side of the table that you eat. That should look crazy. Like, look at that shit.
Oh yeah, this is fine dining for real.
I can pull it up and it won't do nothing. Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm about to really start getting into the restaurant scene out here, because Instagram, boy, they know how to market some stuff to you. Damn, they just be showing. What do these people call these influencers now? They doing all the restaurants. They bring everything to the table. I was like, damn, y'all know how to sell this stuff. Damn, this look dope though. I never told you this, but I was supposed to move to Chicago in 2015.
I was supposed to move there in 2000. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, God, you old.
I am. I am older than. I think I'm the oldest person in this panel.
Yeah. Oh no, AP older than you.
No, he's not.
I hate no AP. That's my homie, man. Don't leave AP alone. You the youngest old looking nigga alive. AP ain't older than nobody.
That's what I keep hearing.
Kiss my ass, Mike.
Shan, I will say, whatever age you are, you have proven that black don't crack.
Thank
regardless of what Trigger Mike thinks.
Where is this damn? But I ate some restaurants the days that I stayed in Chicago. Y'all pizza, I can't with that.
Yeah, no, that's not our pizza. So you know that there's two things, right? It's the shit that people publicize. That's not us, the majority group in America. Then what we would publicize. That's not one of the things we publicize. I don't eat deep dish pizza. That's not something we fuck with. But if you ever come to Chicago, you need to go to Home Run Inn if you want pizza. That should be so fire.
Home Run Inn.
Anybody from Chicago know that shit is super fire.
I can tell you,
maybe Beggars or something like that.
That girl that I was talking about that loved to go up, she was from Chicago, and she's like, "I'm gonna take you to Taste of Chicago or some shit like that." And I was like,
we used to have that. Yeah.
Oh,
so
Garfield Park Behavioral Hospital. That's where I was supposed to take the job. I don't know where.
That's where I'm from.
Garfield Park. Oh, okay.
My job was in Amherst. How far is that from you?
That shit is like an hour. Amherst, the suburbs.
Bro, do you know why I didn't take that job? So I basically tentatively accepted. Then they started breaking down to me all of the safety concerns they had been having. And then they said, if you leave the job after dark, you have to be escorted. And I was like, damn, to my car, that's crazy. They said, no, out of the neighborhood.
All right, so let me just pitch in for my city real quick and explain something. I'm gonna explain this, Trigger Mike, in terms you will absolutely agree. You ever been to high school, right? And then it's a nigga that think he a bully and somebody who ain't going, who fighting that bully, right? Yeah. The other 20,000 high school kids are not fighting him. It's the same thing. It's people who are into it with other people who fight each other. The majority of the people who not involved in this shit don't get involved. Like, especially, not to be on no snitching shit, but Chicago has a very vast open air network of people. AP, when we came to the city, right?
Yeah, man.
We walked down the street. We was on, what was that, 47th?
Man, you know better than me. I was hanging out with these guys.
How many niggas do we see outside?
Bruh, the street was packed, bro. It was so many people outside.
This a regular street. It was no event going on. It was, matter of fact, it was events going on in another part of the city. This was a random block.
Y'all don't understand. The barbershop was open late as hell. Like, they was literally just closing. What time was it, Marcus? Like 9,
10. They was out there getting they was doing a number. They was doing a 1-2. We walked out. How much love did they show us? And was it any problems?
No problem, bro. Man, I got to see a whole ass crack deal and nobody said or did nothing, bro.
Whoa. So edit that part out. Sorry to the audience.
But the point was there was no violence. There was no violence.
Wait, hold on, man. Look, you're right. There wasn't. Okay.
Yeah.
No, bro, watch a dude get his car jacked, bro.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, that did happen. That was.
Y'all don't even know. But look, no, for real, it was nothing but love.
But that chicken was good though, wasn't it?
Man, that chicken was fire, bro.
That chicken was fire. The mild sauce was hitting. Yeah.
No, look, I'm gonna keep it real. Look, None of those folks really knew me from a can of paint. Real talk. None of them knew me from a can of paint. But I got nothing but dap. You know, that dap half hug. Man, it was nothing but love out there on them streets, bro. For real, for real.
He was in the trenches too. Yeah. The trenches, yeah.
Like it, man, it's a city I really rock with.
Nah,
it was a side I had never seen. I really rock with the
that's
shop.
usually how it worked, and you remember that you was walking around with somebody that was from there, so that's kind of helped you a little bit.
No, like from my perspective, bro. Honestly, I don't think anybody would really mess with me if I wasn't with him. Like like not everybody gonna dap you up, right? But I don't think like I would have had beef with anybody. Like it wasn't even that kind of vibe at all.
Yeah,
they was just hustling. They was out there hustling, and they was just. So I know them niggas, so they was gonna talk to us. But if they ain't know you, they would let you move around.
And look, I was even gonna take the job because they sweetened the salary offer when I took like 3 days to deliberate. And then somebody, this is one of the only reasons I didn't take it. Oh, it was really because she was my then girlfriend, now wife, was like, I mean, I'll move there or whatever because she just moved to Houston for me, but she's like, it's cold and unsafe. I was like, you know what, you right. What? She's like, it's cold and unsafe. So it don't get that cold here.
It's actually very safe. It's actually very safe.
It was just the way they painted the picture for me. I'm sure you're right. It was the way they
Chicago, a place like this. You watch your words. You don't get into it with people randomly. You don't like the shit niggas do online. That'll get you hurt. But if you just be cool and be chilling and shit, you'll be cool. Yeah. You ain't got no issues.
What it was too.
Now, if somebody talking crazy, niggas will cash that ticket. We cash lottery tickets in. But outside of that,
this is actually the part that got me. So, waiting on my flight, I took the rental car to, I guess, your downtown area. There was a apartment complex that's the same. I think it was the Aimley or something like that, one of those chain apartments, but it was downtown. And my dumb ass went downtown looking for an apartment, like, oh shoot, well maybe I get an apartment for $1,500. Nigga.
We taxing them. The tax is real.
Those prices.
How much are your apartments going for, Marcus?
Give me how many bedrooms and where you wanted it.
No, I remember the listing.
1 bedroom.
Downtown
in the hood.
Yeah. It's like between 14 and 1800 in the hood, and then you go downtown. The price. So like a studio, like in like. It'd be like 3,200 if you get in the heart of downtown. Like if you're in a skyrise or something, but between 2,200 and 3,600. If you want a couple of bedrooms, like for what I got, I easily be paying like, yeah, it'd be super taxed, like super duper taxed. Like APC in my crib. I'm not in the downtown area, but it's a big house with a lot of land.
Yeah, it was
it wouldn't be cheap
at that time. I was like, at the time in Houston, I was paying like $900 for a big ass 892 square foot apartment. It was 1.5 bedrooms, and I don't know what that even means. It had like a little office pocket thing or something. $900. That's why I was like, nah, I ain't gonna leave. So I just stayed.
I kind of feel bad for us because we don't, like, as collectively as a people, own things. The rent increases, they really gonna fuck us. Like I heard up to 40 to 50% of people's income is going to rent. That is crazy.
But you know what I think, and this is what I hope. The world always corrects itself. So all these people that trying to live an independent life going to be forced back into the family model. You're gonna have to make amends with your parents.
They still ain't gonna get married. They just gonna be sitting there living.
No, what I'm saying is that family is better for people. So even like we're spending money on stupid stuff trying to be independent. So as rent goes high enough, you're gonna have to rely on your family. We're gonna need to depend on each other, right? So it's how society always corrects itself. It's like, oh, it's great that you wanted to be out because it's also not safe. It's not safe for people to be out here, for women to be out here alone. It's weird to me. I think my father said it years ago. Why is a woman leaving her house why is an unmarried woman leaving her father's house? And I didn't get it. I thought it was very old school for him to say that. But what he's saying is, who the hell is protecting you? Of course, you got robbed in the parking lot of your apartment complex. You an easy mark. You an easy mark. You see what I'm saying? So you're not supposed to be outside of your daddy's house if you ain't got no man to protect you, right? So it's gonna force people back in that model.
So Trigger Mike, I 100% feel this way. As much as our women may feel that they independent and strong, you can never underestimate what somebody who wants to do something to you can do. And not having a man come into your home on a regular, being in areas where you're not protected, you really are not protected. And you put the man in your family in a situation where they may have to overreact to something because they're coming to defend you. Please don't put yourself in these bad situations. And men, like, if I could, I don't want to go into too many details, but men are 100% necessary, even if it's just your brother coming by or your uncle coming by sporadically. Just people need to see a man coming in and out of your house for your protection. Just if I can never impress anything on you, they need to see a man coming regularly for your protection. If you don't understand the value of man, I would pray and hope you never have to understand why you actually need one.
That's what
really hope you never have to understand it.
We cannot rid the world. This is the other part, because now I know all the arguments, right? Well, y'all need to tell these men. We cannot tell these men anything. The predators, it's their birthday every day. An unprotected woman, an unsupported woman, a woman that does not have male guidance, they're looking at you first and foremost, primarily. All of these statements of independence, it's what they want to hear. It helps them single you out. I don't need a man for nothing. You're singling yourself out for a predator. Ain't no man gonna be around me. I'm here alone. I take care of myself. A predator is singling you out. So it is a safety concern, and I even got to do a better job of saying this is where most of my talking points come from. I do not want independence is synonymous with being alone. Alone also means unsupported. Independent, unsupported women cannot be the safest women in our society, right? So, you're right, Marcus, 100%.
You're not necessarily not supported, but I do understand that you're not protected.
So the thing about protection, like true protection, it prevents things from happening, so you feel like nothing will happen. I think that's one of the hugest misconceptions where people be like, oh, I don't need a man, or I don't need this, I don't need protection. If you can't fully go with your move and protect yourself, the ability for somebody to prevent things from happening to you is an understatement until it happens. It's like the saying, what is it? I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Yep.
Like, and if you want peace, you need to prepare for war.
Oh yeah. No, that's my mantra.
Just
why you always shooting shit? I'm preparing for war. Like, what you expect the warriors to be doing? You expect me to start preparing
because you want peace, though.
Exactly. I don't want to go to war. I hope I never use any. Right now, I have a nice Walther PDP steel frame in my hand, just getting the trigger worn down for a good shooting session tomorrow because I have to prepare for war. But I hope I never have to use this in an actual wartime situation.
And all I want is peace. You can take that as you may, but all I want is peace.
So I'm gonna bring it right back to the topic real quick, and y'all can continue. Message to the men: if you want to figure out the real difference between a gold digger or a female with high standards, date intentionally. Date with a purpose. Don't go out and spend money you don't have. As a matter of fact, if you're dating intentionally, you shouldn't have to spend much at all. And if all you're trying to get is a piece of ass, and Marcus already said it, you shouldn't have to spend any money to do that. Unless you're spending money to do that. And y'all know that ain't the segment of the show.
Outside of the weed and the drink. Yeah.
Hey, man.
But let me ask you a question, though. Why would you want a woman? Never mind.
You don't understand. See, this is why I be trying to tell mistaken. You don't. Why would you want a woman you just want to have sex with? See this
No,
what
that's
you
not
just
what
blow.
I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
You said you shouldn't have to pay for it, but then you're probably dealing with a skank.
I didn't say pay for it. I said you shouldn't have to spend any money. We can go on a walk in the park and not spend any money. Or you're right, it could be a skank, and I just want to bag the skank. Like I'm just trying to get my willy wet. Like shit. What is take it out to the back of the car and get it done. There was one other thing I wanted to say. It don't even fucking matter.
Trigger Mike don't like that.
Don't like what? Oh,
Man, he just
Big man 11 with the 10. Trigger Mike can't shoot.
That's what they all say to professional shooter. Yeah, he just talking. He can't beat me.
So I think this person is probably in the back of the so they have some people watch it from the beginning and they come in and they make a comment from.
You know what? I actually want to respond to this. FemK, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while, actually. Trigger Mike is being hypocritical. He has his kids immersed in all types of programs, hoping that they'll become doctors someday. One of my children would actually definitely become a doctor now. This is what's important. It's important to respond to stuff like this. My children will become doctors. Both of their parents have master's degrees, right? So education is a staple in our family, in our household. It's important. You see what I'm saying? So my children are going to Prairie View's medical camp, already booked, right? Because their parents have done this for them at a young age. What parents are doing that? In fact, let me put it to you this way. I'm sorry. How many? When we look at the grand scale of things, I want you to look at it this way, FemK, because I had an argument with a mom. She's a struggling single mom. And she basically said, but I don't have enough money. Well, I wouldn't even say struggling. She said, I don't have enough money to do for you what you're doing for your kids. And I said, bullshit. The educational enrichment of your son, she got one son, is on his feet. And we both looked down. That boy had on brand new fucking Jordans. He gets a new pair of shoes every time she gets paid. I don't do that with my children. I pay for Best Brains, math enrichment. I pay for Kumon, reading enrichment. I pay for Taekwondo to teach him respect. I pay for cheerleader to teach our team build. Like your kids' educational enrichment is usually on their body. We spend money on a lot of stuff, but it's prioritized differently between different households.
Or AAU basketball.
Thank you. So we got to make sure. Yeah, my kids will be doctors because education is our priority in this.
Nor do I think it's hypocritical.
Y'all be scamming though, Mike.
I think that both things can be true. He's not being hypocritical. He's setting his kids up to be doctors, lawyers, or whatever he's setting them up for. But that doesn't mean that the kid that goes to the same school, maybe even in the same Taekwondo class, might just be a carpenter and all he needs is the trade. Yep. That's not hypocritical. Two things can be true at the exact same time. And I think that's the point that Trigger Mike was making earlier.
And I think that it's important to know, and this is as a teacher, each person is different. People have to do what is best for them. A person who does not want to go to college does not have to go to college, right? Yeah. So obviously, Trigger Mike knows his kids. He knows how they are, even when you have two kids together, and this is not his situation, but any parent, those two kids could be very different kind of kids, right? So you have to cater. It's never a one size fits all. You have to cater to whatever you have in front of you, right? Mm-hmm. So it just so happens that Trigger Mike knows his kids are those type of kids. He exposes them to different things that a lot of parents don't do. So that what a lot of parents are doing is trying to do it on the back end. Now these kids are grown. They haven't invested in education. They've gotten C's all the way through life. But unfortunately, you can't get a scholarship on a C. You can't.
Let me also explain something, because this is good. When we explain things to people in real life, I think people in the audience and the people that watch this will get something from this. Do you know why I go so hard? I'm sorry, it's not even just me, it's my wife. She's a bigger nerd than I am.
Where's your wife from?
New York.
No, I'm saying like ethnicity.
her mom is half Panamanian, but the black Panamanian, so they're really black, and they were from New York too, but moved there. Like it's so
African American.
He's African American, yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to clarify.
And her dad's side from North Carolina. They, that.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, South Carolina. Damn, what was I gonna say? The reason we go so hard, or I'm actually so involved in the education right now, is because I figured out how school actually works. The smartest kids in the school didn't learn at the school; they learned the curriculum beforehand. Mm-hmm. Okay, the people like we think school actually teaches all children. No, the school that are out there, the kids that are in the classroom intimidating other students with how fast they do assignments, their parents taught them that. Their parents called the school, got the curriculum, went over it with them beforehand. The whole time, we thinking these kids are just naturally smarter than us. No, somebody took the time to go over the entire curriculum with them. All right, they didn't let them stay on a tablet all night. They said you're going to learn these fractions because you got a test coming up next month on it. They're a whole month ahead, a whole year ahead than other students. So if we start to give these cheat codes to more people, we will absolutely have children that are advanced in reading, advanced in math, and they can pass all of the algebras and the calculus and the statistics courses and the linear equations, the chemistry, which is also math, to become doctors and engineers. But without that foundation, math is going to scare them for the rest of their life. And that's what I'm dealing with in my college programs.
And let me just say this before, because I know they're trying to get testing out of the system. But I remember seeing a documentary or something. This was years back, and one of the questions was, they were interviewing people who were preparing kids for SATs, right? And the lady the lady who's over the program was saying, you'll be amazed. We get 8th graders, 7th graders who come in here because their parents are teaching them early on. They're coming in for tutorials to get them prepared for the SAT. We don't do that. They're paying for these classes so that their kids, by the time they get to 11th and 12th grade, they take that test over and over again. They're preparing them to be able to withstand such a lengthy test, to get through the questions, so they won't be tricked by whatever, and to be great test takers. But we don't do that.
Exactly.
Is it me or is Shan's cam kind of?
I don't know. Listen, this is the Board of Education computer. We're not gonna talk about it because it was free. Let me just refresh.
I have never seen this in my life. This is
what I find ironic is that it's highlighting fuel.
Sometimes you gotta show two of me. Like it's trying to show two of me, Can't just get one.
We need to write
sometimes two is better than one. Two is better
your
than
head
one.
at the bottom, but your titties on top. But nah, man. And when it comes to education, it's not about children. Every child deserves the opportunity to feel smart. That is something that I've learned as an educator, and you can pull that out. I have pulled students out, but rarely do I do it. But I have pulled students out of my program, right, which is the Associates and Bachelor's program, and place them into something else that's more hands-on. And then I'll hear from them 6 months later. Because when you look at data like I do, where people's grades are involved, you see trends. And in nursing, we have a saying, and it shouldn't surprise any of you. The best nurse is the C nurse. Everybody thinks the best nurse that's going to go out there in the field and make a great name for the school is the A student. But remember, nursing is a hands-on field as well. Just because you got an A in the class doesn't mean you're going to be the best phlebotomist. It doesn't mean you're going to have the best bedside manner. It doesn't mean you're never going to make med errors. The best nurse is a C nurse. That person that might struggle a little bit to test, but when it comes to hands-on stuff, they're a wizard. They're a freaking wizard, right? They know how to talk to people. They have a good charisma to them when they talk to patients. They get less patient complaints, stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So that we can place our children who didn't have the greatest upbringing to be book smart, as we call it. They can still go out here and amaze the world and lead. This, I believe, that's most salespeople. And I don't know how true this is, but they say C students are the most millionaires.
Yep,
because
that's exactly. They do say
A
that.
students end up working for the government. B students do all the other jobs, but C students, we think they're not smart, but what they were rebellious against structure. They do not like learning anything they're not interested in. They get bored very easy.
Absolutely.
That happened to me.
But let me just emphasize this. Those C students that you are talking about are also because they just, like you said, they can do it. They just are bored of it. It's not what they want to do, right? This is not the C student who, when I say C student, I'm really talking about the D student, okay? I'm just being nice here. So I know what you're saying. Like maybe they have the personality of go-getter, but it's just like, I ain't trying to do that. I'm trying to do this. And they work extra hard. They have the ambition. It's a mentality they have. I completely agree with that. So, but that's not the same as the kid who really got a D or E and the teacher pushed them up to a C because of No Child Left Behind. So we got to be careful.
They need to get rid of that shit, boy.
Don't they? That is what's making education
leave their ass behind.
Because a consequence. If you don't have a consequence, you're gonna keep doing what you're gonna keep.
But you remember when I said every child needs a chance to feel smart. When they had trades in the school, that's what most of the boys were doing through high school.
That's true. We did.
Like every child, like this child that can't really pass tests and all of this, look at what you're doing to their self-esteem and their character. They're going to think that they're not as valuable because they score. They have poor scores in their peers on tests. When you can put them in wood shop, you can put them in the mechanic shop, the electrician shop, teach them a trade, teach them how stuff works, take them out in the field, do the work, even have them graduate so they graduate early so they can start working early. They when I was in high school, what was it? I'm from Virginia, so they had an apprenticeship for 14-year-olds at the Norfolk Naval Shipyard in Portsmouth, Virginia. Those boys from the high school that went to work there from the apprenticeship, they still work there till this day. That's 20-something years of work experience. Some of them went all the way up to engineer. They learned on hands-on and then learned the math of it and went all the way up to the engineering part of it, make it 6 figures. So it could be done.
A question for you. At what point do you determine that you cross over from having high standards to being a gold digger?
Who?
A woman, not you specifically, but a woman. When does she say, I no longer have high standards? There's a line, right? Is it at when she says, I no longer can function with a 2024 Impala and I need a 2024 Mercedes Benz? I no longer can have a Coach purse. I need a 2024 Gucci purse. Like where's the line drawn at?
Well, that is it, because that's all material goods. That's not even saying, it comes with no substance. Like it's kind of like you want the goods and not anything else, right? And I think that's what gold diggers think. They're thinking about what I can get out of it. How is this going to be beneficial to me, opposed to, other things. So a person who says, okay, my standard is, let's just say she makes $80,000, right? And she's like, oh, I would like somebody to be in a range of 60 to 90 because I want us to be in the same social class, right? I don't think that person's necessarily a gold digger. Now, that same person goes, oh, I want my man to be able to buy me a Fendi bag, or I want my man to be able to buy me a blah, 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 blah. That's when it starts getting a little bit. So that has nothing to do with maybe you guys have the same values or anything of that nature. It's more so, what can I get out of this guy who is making this money? It has nothing to do with anything else. Does that
would you say that gold digging occurs when you no longer care about the person, when you're only concerned with what you can receive from them?
For sure.
How would a man determine when it's no longer, because sometimes women can finesse and play the game really well, right? How would a man determine, like, what are some of the things you think he should look out for to determine when she really doesn't like him and she's only trying to receive things from him?
When she's not even pulling that weight herself, like when she's trying to get from somewhere to somewhere else, if she hasn't done the work herself, that's a come up. within itself. So you can look at her. What I'm saying to you is, she wants him to come this already made person, right? And she hasn't even worked on herself. She's not even on his level. And let's just say she is. Let's just say she escort, whatever it is you want her to be, right?
Escort. Did you say escort?
And the reason I say that are a person who's exposed to a group of people who they're not necessarily in the same class. Okay, they got there somewhere. They were invited into these some type of way, right? So if she's going for this guy and she's not necessarily a part of that social circle, meaning her parents didn't have it, she's just it's all about a come up. I would say, one, I would look at her background, what she's used to. Second, I would look at the way she moves as a person. Like, again, if it's all about what you have, and maybe even look at the people she's dated in the past, right? If y'all all have like the same thing in common, all y'all old men with money, you know, you should probably just do your homework a little bit.
I would disagree with you on the men so if she doesn't come from money and she dates somebody with money, that doesn't necessarily make her a gold digger. But I would.
It's not.
I was trying to provide clarity on the situation. So all right. So if you don't say that, I'll make my own independent statement, right? I'm not juxtaposing to your statement. So if she doesn't come from money and you have money and you date, I don't think that necessarily makes her a gold digger. But I agree with Shan on if you have a specific thing in common and it's just money with all the men she's dated previously, I would say so. I also would say because man, we could be honest with ourselves and know, like, hey, she only dated me because of XYZ. She only dated me because I get her in the club for free. She only dated me because when I pull up, the car that I'm driving make everybody in her neighborhood impressed. She only dated me because we can go to this restaurant, and she spends less time talking to me and more time taking pictures of the food that we eating to post on the gram. You know, things like that, I think, should be telltale signs. She only calls me when she's in financial trouble. Every time we have a conversation, she needs to gain something financially from me. She asks me to send her money. It seems randomly, but if you tracked it, it would damn near seem like she had a schedule for how she was trying to request money from you.
So okay. So I think we're talking about two different types of gold diggers, right?
Okay.
It's like he's just being used. So when I think
it's a lot of men out here who this is happening to, though. Shane. Like, it's a whole lot of men.
What you're saying is equivalent to a man wanting a woman for some pussy. You know what I'm saying? She's using him, he using her. So when I think of gold, listen what I'm saying. When I think of gold digger, I'm talking about a true gold digger. I'm talking about she dating a million. Like, I'm talking about a gold digger. Okay, because gold diggers don't go for thousands; they go for gold. They don't go for silver. Go for gold. Okay, so with that being said, I don't like the three. You know, that's just say the threesome. So when I think of, I guess I was thinking of a different caliber of a gold digger. Because this is beyond the club. Like, who goes to a club as a gold digger? We're talking about, we're going to country clubs. That's the club we're talking about. The club down the street.
Most gold diggers are not going to the country club. They're going to the club down the street and they looking for niggas in bottle service.
A silver, this bronze, the bronze.
They looking for bottle service. Okay. They're looking for cars. They're looking for belts.
I get what you're saying. So basically, okay, so let me bring it down because I had something else in my mind. So let me knock it down, okay? So with this type of woman, how would you notice her? And you're intentionally dating, right? You wouldn't have to do all of those things for her. It wouldn't even about that. It'd be genuinely about you. It wouldn't be about, oh, let's go to the club, let's get in VIP. It's like, I want to spend genuine time with him where maybe money is not even involved. You're getting to know the person. You can tell when somebody's genuine about you, right? Like, if somebody wants to spend time with you, they want to talk to you, they want to communicate with you. They put your best interests at heart. You know, those are the genuine things. It has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with what they do for you, not even monetarily, but just being there for you, the intangible things. Okay. That's how you can tell a gold digger. Now, when it comes to women, in the grand scheme of things, women who, and people are gonna be mad at me for saying this, kind of off the subject. When you're talking about people who use people, people use women sometimes use men for clout to get in the club, just like men use women for sex. That's just how it is. Okay. He wants something from her. She wants something from him. I don't look at that as the same thing as I'm going after a man to marry a man for his money. This is what I'm going after him for. He's locked into a contract with me because I'm trying to get his money, all of his money. That's the difference. You understand? One is on a superficial level. Y'all just talking, boom, boom, boom. He may smash, but you got some dollars out of him. That ghetto shit. I'm talking about a woman who's really trying to go after a man who got something and trying to get half of what he got, like the real deal, where he really he really like to lose something.
If she was doing that, how would he be able to determine that? Because I'm sure if you were, so we call that long game the short game, right? So I think when you said the ghetto shit, that's short game. Long game would be somebody that's actually finessing a nigga past the point of no return.
And
right?
that's when it gets a little bit more difficult. That's when she's gonna give you a little bit so she's gonna play you a little, because she thinking this is bigger than this little, you know what I'm saying? She's smarter than that. Like, these are the smart. That's why you end up seeing these dudes, right, who got all these millions, and next thing you know, she was smart. Not to say that all of them are with women who don't love them, because some are in genuine connections with women who love them, right? But we talk about the one who you look at them, you like, dude, you knew that woman didn't like you for that. When you betting outside, when you're 80 years old, you dating a 20-year-old, what do you think she there for? Please, you have to be real with yourself. Some people sign up for that though. They know they got homeboys who are telling them like, "Yo, this ain't looking good. This ain't a good look." But you throw all them red flags away because she loves you for you.
So is it fair to say a man should know his sexual market value, and if she's maybe 3 points outside of his value, it's a very high potential that she's using him? Is that a fair statement?
I think it's
I'll make it even simpler. So if the man is a 6 and he's dating a woman that's a 9, but he has money, would it be fair to say that it's a good chance that she's dating him as a 6 and he's a 9 specifically so she can extort resources, or no?
Not necessarily. There are other factors that are taken into consideration, because you could be a 6.
Break them down.
As far as attraction, women can go down in attraction if she really likes a guy, right? Or if he's doing
how far?
6 and 9 are not that bad off. Now if he a 2,
okay,
or 3.
What do you think is
she's so socialist, she's like a person who's social. Let's just say he's corny. That's off balance. There's something that's a red flag right there, right? If he's
how far is too far where you need to raise a red flag? How many points off?
So let's start with this. What y'all have in common? If all he talks about is geek stuff and she has no interest in that, and she's like, "Oh, here he go again," that's already a red flag. Y'all ain't got the same interest, right? She's in it for something else. She can't even have a conversation with you and enjoy your likes. Okay, red flag. 2, if it's all about what you like, "Oh, but I have to wear this," it's always about material things, that is probably a red flag. 3, if you are betting outside of your league. When I say betting outside of your league, when you are, and this is what men, when you are dating somebody who is substantially younger than you, and you can't even get a woman who is your age, who looks attractive for your age, and she doesn't want that, that's a red flag. You understand what I'm saying? That's a red flag. You early 50s, and without the money, you couldn't even pull a woman who is nice looking, who will be attractive on your 50s, but you pulling a baddie who's younger than you, it's a red flag.
How many points would that be a red flag? Because there is some, like, older men with wisdom, they gain a point or 2 with wisdom, right? So an immature young man, that would be a 5, right? If that same man at maturity level with stoicism and all those things, I would think he would bump to a 6 or 6.5.
20 years is no longer about wisdom. It's all you have. So when you're with them, but listen to this. When you are with a mate, especially for women, you have to have common. This is why Black women don't like to date outside their race. Black men will date outside their race before Black women will date outside their race, because Black men don't care about all that connectivity crap. Women, it means a lot to them. They want to know that you feel the same way they feel. They have something in common with you. That's just how women roll, right? So if I'm with a man and he's 30 years older than me, what do we pop? We're in two different generations. I'm not going to the Frankie Beverly Mays concert with you as a 20-year-old. I'm just not. I don't want to hear the back in the day buffet radio station. I'm into whatever them babies is going on. The babies, the yachties, or whatever the name is. I'm into that. We have nothing in common. When you start talking and you're losing me because you're talking about an era I'm just not even familiar with, that's a red flag. And this is the thing, because in her mind, she may genuinely like you now. And unfortunately, you won't even find out the real deal until you get old and life really starts happening to you and she becomes the hospice wife. If she sticks in there, if she wants to go and gets tough and she gets going, you're going to find out real fast. And then sometimes those are the same women who, when they start getting up in age, maybe in their 30s, now you was cute in your 40s, right? She was 20, because 40 is still attraction, right? But now you start to look your age. You really start to look like grandpa. And she with grandpa, Papa Smurf, walking in the mall with Papa Smurf. And people keep on saying, oh, is this your daddy? Nah, she gonna start losing attraction. I don't care what it is. It's gonna be like. And as soon as that other dude blow on her neck, and she's like, oh, okay.
Do you think women are like, how what percentage of women do you think cheat?
So for one, I think you have to be married to cheat.
Okay, look, let me set the standard. So if a woman marries a man for money, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, how many women are married?
He's 20 years older than her, and he has about $9 million more than she has.
Okay.
Whatever her amount is, $9 million. Okay. What percentage of women do you think cheat based off of not being attracted to him and only dating him for financial stability?
I think that
or financial growth.
I think that depends on how much sex means to the woman, because women have different sexual desires, right? And so if she's a sexual person, attraction comes with sex. I don't care who you are. That's why men who ain't got nothing and they're attractive get vagina. Y'all be wondering how Pookie got vagina. Well, Pookie fine. You know what I'm saying? He got a job, but he fine. Slanging and danging. But I think that, so that's going to be one thing, right? I can't put a number on it, but I'm going to tell you this. The whole scenario about the pool boy did not come out somebody ad. That shit was really happening. Where you was, if you've ever watched Desperate Housewives, I know some of you guys are too young for that TV show, but it's a thing when your husband and he's just not all that. Sometimes, and you have the attractive wife, that pool boy starts looking a little, hi, you coming over to fix some things? But I'm not saying that's a lot, because there are some people who are not cheating on their man, that they just don't cheat. They hold the truth that if she's a God-fearing woman, more than likely she's not cheating. If she don't read the Bible, if she don't care about none of that, child, you better find you a Christian woman.
I gotta call cap on that.
What?
I have to call cap on that. Because I told you, like, my sexual experience when I was young came from out people that was in the church. Girls that was in the church.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that,
hypocrites. I was about I said true. Most people in church don't read the Bible. They just be going. So
they do be going.
True Christian woman. A woman who's not in the club one night and they wake up and go to church. If we talk about a true Christian woman, the sanctity. This is
how would they identify that? How would these men identify that?
Let me tell you this. There's no 100% way. There's no answer to that. But there are telltale signs, right? So look at it this way. Let's take Bill Gates, for example. When he dated his ex-wife, I think her name is Melinda, whatever her name is, starts with an M. They look like they're compatible. They're both brainiacs. They both like the same thing. You look at them, they look like a pair, right? Even the woman he's with now, she looks like he doesn't bet outside his league. He sticks with a certain kind of woman who you like, if he had no money, he'd probably still be with her. You know what I'm saying? That's the same woman. I
say I would go into that same umbrella. Like, whatever I could qualify for, broke, is what I was saying. What I would date rich. Yeah.
So I would say that Bill Gates kind of does it right. Okay. Because I can tell.
What about Warren Buffett? You know he's a polygamist.
I don't know what Warren Buffett's wife looks like though.
He has two.
Uneven.
He has two.
Oh, but what do they look like though? You just had to throw that polygamy in there, didn't you?
He did. I'm just saying.
Okay, so I would have to see them. Some people can eye it and see that this is not.
They're older. They're older women. One of them passed away. They're older women. So one of them had passed away.
Let me say this. Now there's one girl. I think she's maybe 20 years younger than him, right? 20 or 30 years younger than him. But he's an older man, but he's a nice looking older man. Like he's got the muscle. He keeps up with his body. Got like a little nice swag. It's possible she really liked him because he's just giving nice swag. He's a nice looking man. You feel me? But that's not. Most of them aren't like that. If he walking around with his pants up here, he got the socks, the grandpa look, and she like young twin, it's a little off. Y'all know that shit is. I don't even look right. It don't even look right. She goes to the and it's always about her. It's never about him. It's like I. Very selfish individual. That too can be a red flag.
I think it's possible. I heard this the other night. I don't know if I asked you this before. Do you think it's possible for a woman to fall in love with a man that buys her, like to actually love him, off of him, like he provides a lifestyle for her that she could not provide for herself? He spends as much money as possible. Can she actually fall in love with him for real?
Yes. Listen. Okay. So there's between being in love and love, two different things. Because you can love somebody who cares, but not be that. You see what I'm saying? So I think that people, even in gold digging situations, it doesn't mean they don't love the man.
Okay, let me rephrase it.
Doesn't mean it just means it's not the love that he's probably looking for.
What? So if he lost all his money, would she still love him?
Now that is the indication of exactly. If he was to call her up, like, baby, I gamble all the money away, he'll find her real fast.
Would you say that's a fair test then for men to pretend like they went broke and then see where they stand?
Listen, if you have a lot to lose, I feel like anything you can go get. Look, you got that much money, go order a polygraph. Make her ass take a polygraph. You ain't got the money, put her ass on them little things, stick that shit onto it. That should pick it up. With them like $100.
Yeah, they're not that expensive.
Yeah,
they're not. But say she wasn't a woman who cared about that. And after you put on a polygraph, she no longer fucked with you like that for real because she felt the way about having to take a polygraph to see if she was for real. Because I think that's what stopped a lot of men from getting paternity tests.
Let me tell you this.
They like, I think she loved me. And let me say it. I think she loved me. And if I ask her for this paternity test, it's going to forever alter the course of the relationship. And if she loved me and I asked her the paternity test, now we move forward with her thinking I don't trust her. So it's going to create difficulty within a relationship. What would you say to that?
Listen, if I love a man, he can hook me up to anything he wants to, so I can be like, see, so I can just throw it in his face. Here you go, swap that baby test. Who baby you thought it was? Who baby is it? I'm gonna throw it because we like to throw it back at you. You know what I'm saying? Just to show you, like, what you trying to do? What, huh? Do
you think most women are that way, or do you think most, or do you think it would be an issue for most women? I think that
if anybody asks you to take a test just for their own protection because they have a lot to lose, and you say no, then you willing to lose him because of that. That's so because you want me to take a poly test because you're so used, so people you've been scammed and you're easily scammed because of how much money you have, right? Because I think that's just like you just protecting your investment. I want to make sure you're here for me, and you know that I'm about to get a ring, like you love me. I'm not gonna trip over no fucking poly test. And this man wants to marry me. He wants to protect me. He wants to take me under his covering. He wants to protect his assets. Why would I get mad at that? And I know I genuinely look because I'm a passive with flying colors. Like, do what you got to do, boo. Y'all worry too much. That's how y'all get in trouble. Y'all worry too much about what she thinking. Next thing you know, you ain't got no prenup, and she leave you for half or whatever the percentage is. All these issues, or you taking care of a kid that ain't yours because you was too scared to ask for a paternity test. I mean, you keep getting yourself in these stupid situations. when you just have to advocate for yourself. She's not going to leave you. She's not. If you find out the kid is yours, what's going to happen? She's going to leave you because you swapped their. Most of y'all ain't even with them. So
what if I told you that might be the true test if a woman love you or not? The things she willing to leave you for. What if I told you that's what I think?
That is a true test for sure. Because I'm gonna tell you now,
if a woman love you, would she leave you for cheating?
Listen, women. Some people that's a hard bound. That's a solid boundary.
All right.
It depends on our boundaries.
Would she leave? Would she leave you for going broke?
No, she shouldn't.
So would she leave you for cheating?
Some people that's a hard. So look, it's some women. If you cheat on them, they go crazy. Like they are just over it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that it's kind of with. So this is the problem with. Let's talk about cheating for 2 seconds, okay? There are different levels to cheating. If you go out with your homeboys and you slept with a chick, she probably wouldn't even know because it was like a quickie. You got it out the way you left, right? No, y'all keep going back and developing. It's like a continuation. So now you have a relationship outside of your relationship. If she's catching messages in your phone, you're developing a relationship. It may not be a commitment, but there's a relationship going on there. So you sloppy, like that's nasty. Like all of it is nasty. But you're taking it to it's a threat to the household, basically.
You know what to solve all of this?
What? Polygamy, shut up. Out of here.
All right. It's bedtime. I know it's bedtime. I just wanted to say that last thing.
Way too much.
We appreciate y'all good people, everybody that stayed online with us. I know we didn't
and let me just say, this is a disclaimer. I'm not a pro in none of this stuff. I can only just tell you the red flags I've seen when I look at certain things. I'm like, well, how didn't he know that? Like you can see it. You like,
wait, what are you saying? How didn't he know what?
When I look at people who are in gold digging situations, right? And
I think it's easy to get tricked. I think
for both ways.
But here's the caveat. I think if you did not get women prior to having the money and you really want to believe that because I think we have this innate it's two people, right? We have the ego that tells us that we're him. We have the identity that casts aspersions and doubts. And I think the more you live in your ego, the easier it is for you to think that you're him. And the more you live in your identity, the harder it is for you to think that you're him. And I think most people, when you're on a forward trajectory, you live inside your ego. When you're on a decline, you live in your identity.
You know what? I've never heard anybody say. I kind of like my polygraph idea. Why nobody think about giving their chick a polygraph? But hooking their hands up some things and ask. You got the money like that. If you really want to know, if they put people behind bars for that test, look, it's got.
No, they can't use it, and you can't go behind bars for no polygraph test.
Oh, you can't. So it's not 100%.
It's not. It's inadmissible. Yeah.
Dang.
From what I understand, it's inadmissible.
Dang. But that would have been a good idea.
It would have. It would. I'm not saying I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying.
Let me just say,
in my personal opinion, I think people have a sexual marketplace value hierarchy, and I think when you get past 3 points, you've entered into why are you doing this territory. So if you go from 6 to 9 or 5 to 8, it's like. It's possible you could actually like me, but it's more than likely there's some finesse coming around somewhere around here. And you need to ask a whole lot of questions when you get in that situation. The problem is if you go from 5 to 8, you're so happy that you went from 5 to 8, you don't want to ask a question because you don't want to ruin this. That would be the issue.
That should be a red flag within itself. Like your point, it's almost like a teacher when I test kids, right? And the points jump up, so you're usually here and you jump. I'm gonna wonder, like, is this a real? Like maybe I should test again and make sure there wasn't a fluke. And if I'm really trying to find out where the kid is, So you take the same logic as it comes to dating. If you jump so high, And not to say you can't get that person. I would just tread lightly. And because what you could do too is look at her exes, because you can look at her exes and see what kind of men they were as far as how much they pull, but also her attraction level. For example, if she's used to dating these 10s, these guys who are 10s, and then you're like a 2 in attraction, that's a red flag. Now, because there's some women who are just not attracted to 10s. They may like men like you, and if they're consistent.
Medium ugly.
So medium ugly, but listen to what I'm saying.
That's my category. I'm in the medium ugly category.
So, so look at it this way. If she used to dating 3s and some of those 3s don't have money, you may have found the person for you, right? Because that's just her attraction. She's attracted to those guys, okay? That's her natural attraction. And she has a background showing that she's attracted to this, and some of them didn't have money. There was some of them who didn't have money attached to it. So that's a good. But if she's used to dating a certain kind of man, and then she's dating you, and the only thing different is you have money from these other guys, I don't know. Yeah, look at that.
So
but some people don't care. I think some people know they're being used and they don't care.
I agree with you on that. But if you did care, looking at her exes would determine some things. If the thing they had in common wasn't a look, it was more so. Because I think people have a type. I truly believe people have a type.
For sure.
And it's either what's beneficial or what you're attracted to, right? Mm-hmm. So if somebody is extremely rich and you're not attracted to them, you will take them. And if somebody is what you're attracted to and they're broke, you'll take them. So I think if you fall on the extremely rich side, you need to be very cautious. But if you look at the other exes and you like, I see what you like. I see your type. Like I kind of got a inclination for people types. Thankfully, I got an inclination for that. So yeah.
And listen, at the end of the day, most people you'll just never know. You'll never know if you've been hustled. Sometimes you just won't know if that person is just so good, especially if your heart is already involved. That heart, that head, just go out the window. That thought, it's just no way to really. It's just a
what type of woman you think could be finessing me?
Finesse you?
Yeah.
Marcus, I'm not doing this with you today.
I'm just curious.
I'm not doing this with you.
All right.
I'm not playing these little Marky Mark games. You got me trying to play with you.
I'm just keeping
it Saturday morning for that shit. Okay.
Okay.
But again, I just want everybody to say, do not listen. This is not shit. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just going a straight off observation and just my opinion. This is all opinionated because I don't want people to get hustled going off of my idea.
Hold on. I'm going back to this. Build a woman that could finesse me, please.
So somebody who's extremely attractive, right? Super smart, into saving the community, just like you. Someone who, yeah.
And she could finesse me?
I think that's, well, I don't know. Marcus, like,
I'm giving you carte blanche, the NBA 2K creative player. I wanted a creative player.
Listen, you name a woman who can finesse you. You give us a woman who can finesse you.
No, that was on you.
I don't know. So I can tell you a man who can finesse me because I know me. I don't know.
All right, give me a man that could finesse you.
Somebody who is extremely smart. I like smart guys. Who's semi-attractive. I don't like too attractive. Who's very family oriented. He can finesse me. He looked like he's family oriented at least. A man who is just knows all the right things to say. Always shows up. If I need something, they show up for me. And they do that for a lengthy amount of time. Yeah, I'll be getting finessed. I get finessed real. Because I think that people are like, I'm an intentional person. Like I be feeling bad when I would never want to use a person, right? Because I always think about other people's feelings. So if a person did the same thing to me, it was another me, but a male version of it, but in a masculine way, I would fall for that guy because I'm like, oh, I met my match. He's the same as me. And then he turned out to be like a player who just played me on my shit. I just got finessed. The fuck? Damn.
Oh, they say, hold on. I think that hold on, y'all can add in. If y'all know who could finesse me, I want to see what y'all say. Oh no, this not for me. I like a homegrown, wholesome, righteous woman minded, submissive, practical. I like something similar.
Yeah, tell us
She have to be look, they say she have to be upfront, straight gutter, but classy about it, with a good bit of intelligence and have the truth in her.
Okay.
That's who could finesse me. Okay.
You'll be amazed at how many men be wanting ratchet women, but who got smart, who can put you, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, she can flip it and be like sophisticated and then get ratchet. Like, it's a lot of guys who like that though.
So my BDSM traits is what will prevent it.
See, God just paused you because he said that's lies are detected.
I'm telling you. If you understood, you know. What is it? AIYKYK. If you know, you know. Hey, my BDSM traits are prevented because you got to play a role that prevents you from being in the finessable position.
See, I'm not. So you're more swift in the streets than I am. So when you're not in the streets often, you're not as bright in the streets as somebody who's always in the streets. So I can already say it may be easier for me to be finessed than a person who is out there doing this all the time. You know?
That's fair.
So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Plus, I think everything a damn scam. I trust but verify, right? So I go along with you, watching you like, this ain't right. This ain't right.
Sometimes your intuition, especially for women, we have intuition. I know how men roll, but sometimes you get something on the inside that's telling you this ain't right. It's like that funny feeling like the environment ain't right, but y'all don't be listening. Sometimes I don't be listening either. I be doing this.
I had this dream where somebody trying to rob me and I robbed them before they could rob me. Like, I know it's toxic.
That sounds like because sometimes you can sabotage that way too. It could be in your head that you're being robbed, and in actuality, that person is not doing that, and you sabotage a connection because of that.
That's a fair point. Good night, everyone. Thank you all for staying with us for tonight. I know you said you was gonna get off before 3. It's 3:16. Where you at? This shit ain't work.
Where you at? You know.
Pew!
Because I'm grateful.
All right. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for being with us. Next week, Friday, between the hours of 9:30 and 11:30. See you guys. Night.